Yeah, you know the deal. You nothing changed. You the big. Yeah. Here we go again to open up the show again. Suckers want to copy, so they try to wonder where we been. It's Thomas from the Bronx talking boxing, football and baseball and sometimes wrestling. Plus he all about the dough like Fosse. You might even catch him live, be on IG. You know he still rock with sock, even when the whole block is hot. Chillin' in the cut like a doc. A lot of cowards, they act fake in a spot like they taking a spot, but imitators a pop. Tommy dropping out gems like a treasure chest. Every other week you might catch him with a special guest. Like the champ Keith Cologne, he's a regular. Took pics with Bud, so you better show him love. BVO and D-Free playing safety. They blocking all nonsense. Sonny, change your conscience. Yeah. You already know the deal. Judah Ben. Tell a friend to tell a friend, son. Tommy from the Bronx. BVO, D-Free, Socrates in the spot. East St. Louis.
Champ of the world. Shout out to TD Sports. TD Sports. Let's go, champ.
Gotcha.
TD Sports Talk in the house. Let's go.
What I gotta do, let y'all niggas know, I am the nicest ever. I'm quick.
Yo, what's good? What's good? What I gotta do to let y'all know, I am the nicest ever. Hardcore. Commercial, what you want to do? You want to dance? You want to liven up? You want to wild out? You want to party? I got it all locked down, baby. What's good? What's good? Salute to everybody coming through on this Friday night, on this cold Friday night. It's going to be a cold-ass weekend here, at least here in the Bronx in New York City. But it's a big weekend, a Super Bowl weekend, baby. Super Bowl weekend. As you know, yes, I am from the Bronx, New York, but I am a Seattle Seahawks fan. Not a bandwagon jumper. I've been a Seahawks fan since the early 90s, since Rick Meyer was the quarterback. So, and those that have been rocking with me, they know this, so I don't want to hear anything. Let's go Hawks this Sunday. But tonight, we're going to talk a little boxing, man. You know, last week was a big weekend of boxing, Sunday included. I watched some of the fights on Sunday, but not as much as I really wanted to. I got to go back and catch some of the replays. That Zuffa card was lit. That Zuffa card was banging, bro. That was a good-ass card, bro. I was watching while I was live with my man 503 and the Usual Suspect 6. You know, we had a good conversation over there talking boxing. So it was kind of hard watching the fights and being live at the same time. But that card was great. But we're going to talk more about Saturday, man. Saturday's card was lit. You guys know I was there in the building, as I usually am when the fights are here in New York City. I was in the Garden. A lot of good fights. Let me say what's up to the people in the chat. I'm going to drop the link for people to come up. D-Free, I text you the link so you could come up at any time. You could come up right away. Marky Dan, I'll drop the link in a little bit. You could come up. And whoever else, I'll drop it for everybody. We're going to talk some boxing, man. Boxing is in a great place right now. There's a lot to talk about. A lot of great performances last week. And, you know, I was really pumped up, man. And everybody knows who I was pumped up for. My guy here out of New York. We're going to get to it in 1 minute because we're going to lead off with that guy. Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. What's good, bro, man? Salute to you. Thanks for coming through. He's in there 2 times, man. Appreciate you. My man, Marky Dan, he calls me the chopped cheese boy, which is crazy. Can't even be the chopped cheese man, but I'll be the chopped chease boy. Just crazy. Just mad crazy. But salute to my man, Marky Dan, in the building. Shower. Yes, indeed. Boxing. Salute to you. Thank you for coming through. You're also welcome to come up as well and talk boxing, and we'll have a good conversation as well. So all is welcome as long as we keep it respectful as we usually do. You know, before the loudmouths come in like My man, I'm not even gonna say it. Let him come up and make noise. I don't want to start no trouble this early. But yeah, before they come up in here. Marky Dan in there again, Chop Cheesy. He got the I can't take this guy seriously. I swear to God. This guy's insane, bro. Insane, man. Marky Dan. But anyway, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Like my man, the Bronx Maniac says, who lives right across the street from me, from the Four Corners Boxing. Shout out to my group, to my boys, to my people's Four Corners Boxing, my man, the Maniac. Let's talk about it. But let's talk about it, man. Let's start off with this guy right here. Bruce Shu Shu Carrington. Been talking about this guy for a few years now. We had him on the show. I just went back to the show last night, and I started looking to do some shorts because I want to see some of the things that he said a few years ago when we had him on the show, close to 3 years now, and what he was talking about and what he wanted to do. You know, obviously being champion was one, and he did that. He mentions Inoue as well. So I'm going to try to clip some stuff, put it together, throw it in a video. I'm going to do a video on Shu Shu. Hopefully by tomorrow, be ready. I just want to get the right wording on, but we're going to talk about it today. But I'm very, very proud, right? You know, as boxing fans, you know, we're happy for these fighters. We're happy to be entertained, you know, especially the sport of boxing. But if you're a fan of a particular fighter, like I am, a Shu Shu, and had the opportunity to converse with this young man, and on numerous occasions, you know what I'm saying? Here's me and him at the last press conference here in New York, you know, having a chance to talk to him and really, you know, kind of know where he's coming from. I'm not going to say we're best friends. I'm not even going to say we're like friends. We're kind of like acquaintances, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, this is why I say, you know, from me speaking with him, that I'm proud of him, right? I'm really proud of the man that he's become, the champion that he is now. And, you know, I'm just happy for what he had to overcome, knowing if you know his story, if you know what he had to come through, coming up through Brownsville, which was one of the roughest areas in all of New York City. You guys think I had it bad in Soundview. Nah, man, Brownsville, Brooklyn is crazy, you know. So him coming up, you know, he lost a family member, lost his brother. He thought about quitting, you know, at one point. And good thing he didn't, you know, and he always has a Forever Ike on his trunks, you know what I'm saying? And really proud of him, man. And not only did he win the title, he won it in such a great performance, in such a great way, right? You know, winning in your hometown, in the big room. I'm not talking about the theater where I've seen him fight many times, like 3 or 4 times I've seen him fight at theater. But to win in your hometown, in the world's most famous arena at Madison Square Garden, in the big room, and to win by the knockout that he had, I mean, man, listen, man, I was so happy for him, man. That was the highlight of the whole entire night. And mind you, there were 2 fights after him, right? And there were 2 excellent performances after him, but he stole the show, in my opinion. And yes, I'll openly say it's a little bit of bias there because I extremely have love for this kid, you know, and I have love for his pops. His pops is a great man. I got to see his pops before and after. The first thing I said to him when I saw his pops before the fight, I saw him at a New Yorker hotel, and I said, "We're gonna do it today, baby. You guys are gonna do it. Today's the day. You guys are gonna be champions today." And he just laughed. Yeah, man. We just, you know, let's see what. Yeah, I forgot what he said, but he was just like he embraced it. You know what I'm saying? And we spoke, and I said, "Yeah, I can't wait to congratulate you guys, you know, after the fight, you know." And then fast forward, you guys saw what it was, you know, if you watched the fight. And then fast forward to afterwards, I saw his father at the New Yorker afterwards because his son was not staying in New York. He was staying in another hotel. And I saw him, I gave him congratulations. He was very happy. He was dressed for the occasion. He was dressed up in a nice suit, nice jacket, you know, and it's just a great moment. I wish I would have saw his mom's there. His mom's was there as well. I wish I would have saw his mom's as well. But very happy for him, man. Shu Shu, Bruce Shu Shu Carrington. I did see him late that night, early in the morning at the other hotel, but he wasn't really trying to talk to anybody. You know, I was able to give him a pound and say congratulations. And the last thing he said was, I think Johnny, for Fight Hype, Johnny Boy, he asked him, so who's next? And he yelled out Nick Ball, which I found a little bit weird because, you know, Nick Ball can lose tomorrow, right? Because Nick Ball has a fight against Figueroa and he can lose. So it's almost like he has his eyes on Nick Ball, and it's almost like he feels that Nick Ball's going to win, because I don't think he would say that not knowing he has a fight, but, who knows? That's why I kind of found it weird. But that's what he yelled out. And listen, when I went back and saw the videos last night, not the videos, the video and the clips, he talks about how he wants to fight the best. He says he always wants to test himself. He's not here just to be a fighter. He wants to fight the top guys. He mentions that, and that's what I'm trying to clip together and post for you guys. And this is him after 10 wins, and I think he has 17 fights now. He's 17-0. I'll look that up just to be accurate. You know what I'm saying? This is off the top of my head, but I'm almost positive that he's 17-0. I believe he is. But at the time we interviewed him, he was 10-0. Because he says that. He says, after 10 fights, who am I to say this? Yeah, he's 17-0 with 10 knockouts, right? So, but he mentions that when we spoke to him, 2.5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, and I want to see it. I want to see it, what's funny, and this is part of what I want to say in the video, and I'm going to mention it now as I look in the chat, is that when I talk about New Yorkers, right, and the fight and the fighters out of New York, and like people come out like New York ain't got nobody, and then I'm like, we got Hitchens, yeah, but Hitchens ain't fighting nobody, But now we got a guy who I truly believe is going to want to fight everybody, and like a real representative of New York. Not that Hitchens isn't, but he had one title defense against Cambosis, like nobody asked for that, and now he's fighting Duarte, who's dangerous, but nobody really asked for that either. You know what I'm saying? So. But I believe that Shu Shu wants to fight the best. So back to what my point is. My point is, when I talked about Shu Shu before, all people would ever tell me, and I would talk about New York fighters, they would tell me is that, oh, but he's gonna get killed by Espinoza. Espinoza's gonna kill that man. And I'm like, damn, man, I'm just talking about Shu Shu. Can we just focus on him? Why we gotta hate the kid? You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about boxing, right? And some of these fans, instead of building up fighters, they want to try to find a way to tear somebody down. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at that point, I think it was a Tank fan that told me that. And I'm like, man, you're a Tank fan, and your guy's not fighting his contemporaries, and you never even met Tank. You probably never been to a Tank fight. You probably never even give Tank a high five or tapped him on the shoulder on a ring walk. You never did any of that. But here, I've had some sort of relationship. I had conversations with Shu Shu. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit more different. You know what I'm saying? And that just kind of like, it kind of rubs me the wrong way when people come out and do that. You feel me? So, and I can't stand this guy. He always got, what Mr. Shelton tries to do, and he's successful almost every time. He be trying to throw me off, and whatever. Let me see who else came in the building, man. It worked. You got me today, man. All right, I'm crying a little bit because I don't like that shit, bro. So yeah, all right, and it's okay to cry. Fuck that. K-Rod in the building, man. Salute to you, K-Rod. No talking. I'm driving. Just listen. All right, child. I got you. Shelton hating as usual. Shut that soft ass shit up. Slide Encounter. Salute to you. Thanks for coming through. He says, I like to see Carrington versus Zagawa rematch. Yeah, I would like to see it too. I think he had a fight last week, or he has a fight coming up. But that's the African kid that people said that he struggled against. I thought he boxed well in that fight. He couldn't hurt the guy. I was there at that fight, and he landed some big shots on him, but the guy wasn't going anywhere. That fight, his brother was at the fight screaming, and I don't know how it came off on TV. If you could hear his brother screaming crazy in that fight, it was pretty funny. But yeah, Mr. Shelton, you're a hater, man. Salute to you too, Sizzle, man. Salute to you. Hope all is well. But yeah, I'm gonna drop the link. But I wanted to definitely talk about Shu Shu first. We got other two fights I want to talk about. Also want to talk about Xander Zayas, and we could talk a little bit about Josh Kelly winning the title too. We had three new champions, right? Even though they were champions before, but new title holders. So Shu Shu was the first, right? Shu Shu became the featherweight champion at WBC. Then we had four, right? So we had Shu Shu. We had Josh Kelly become a new champion. He became the IBF Super Welterweight champion. We had, I'm I'm forgetting Xander Zayas, who's already a champion, but he just won the WBA super welterweight champion to become unified. So therefore becoming a new champion, right? He was already the WBO, but he won a new belt. So in my book, that's he won a new belt, new champion. And then he had Shakur Stevenson, who was a champion already at 135, who, by the way, they stripped him, which is total complete bullshit by the WBC. But he became the new ring and WBO super lightweight champion. So 4 new champions this past Saturday. So I'm going to drop the link. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the performances. And then we'll talk about where we like to see these fighters move on from there. And then if you want to talk a little bit of Zuffa, you want to talk a little bit of Nick Ball, we all, we let's talk about it. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So let me drop the link real quick. But I definitely want to get on first and give Shu Shu his props because that's my guy. And he's a real champion out of New York. Unlike Hitchens, who I like Hitchens a lot. I think Hitchens is great. But I just want to see Hitchens fight somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I know for a fact if Hitchens fights somebody, he's going to win. I think Hitchens is that good. But, you got to prove it to me. You know what I'm saying? So now New York City has 2 world champions right now. There is the link. And I can't with this guy. This guy's freaking – yo, Mr. Shelton, something wrong with you, bro. The hangout spot, Johnny, man, what's good with you, bro, man? Salute to you, man. Thanks for coming through. And K-Rod says, I'm happy Xander got the unified titles. He deserved it. Yeah, and I'm happy that Xander is still looking to fight the top guys. He's already talking about Josh Kelly, even though Josh Kelly's Bakram is going to file for a rematch with Josh Kelly because one of the judges in that fight scored the last round 10-10, and that was a round that Bakram clearly won. And if he scores that round the right way, we would have a majority draw, and Bakram will still be the champion. So they're protesting the fight. I don't think they're going to win the protest because you hardly see protests being won in boxing. It hardly ever happens. But they'll probably will enforce a rematch. So there goes that, and there goes a possible another unification bout for Xander, and there goes the possible chance of Boots maybe fighting for the IBF. So let's see what happens, man. I would like to see Boots fight Xander, or the other way around, Xander fight Boots. Xander is the champion now, so he gets to call the shots. But I truly believe Xander wants to fight the top guys. He's talking. He wanted Fundora. He's talking. What's this guy's name? Virgil. He's talking Virgil. There is a rumor too that I saw earlier that supposedly Virgil's manager, something about that there is a contract out there that's pretty much agreed upon where Virgil and Boots are going to meet up. I don't know how true that is because nothing has really been shown yet, but that's just something I've seen on Instagram. But real quick, my man K-Rod pulled up on me, and my man D-Freeze in the building. Salute to you guys. Salute K-Rod. Salute D-Free. K-Rod, I'll let you lead off, even though D-Free's my co-host, but he did a sock today. He was late. So K-Rod, you lead off, and then we'll go over to D-Free, man. What's good with you?
Hey, how's it going? I just like to say that was a great weekend of boxing fights. I think honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Shakur and Tio, as far as the crowd vibe, that was just as good as Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. But I think the reason why that felt good was because Turkey, he played it very smart to bring the ring the Ring Magazine boxing boxing awards to get all the big names out there. So I think that was really good for him to do that. But overall, I think that was a very good card. I'm very happy that Shu Shu won because knowing that he's the first New Yorker to actually win a belt at the Garden historically actually speaks a lot of great volume. So I'm very happy for him. And same thing with Shakur. Shakur did exactly what he needed to do. He read Teofimo Lopez like a book, and but the fight was just like a one-way street to a easy victory. And I was also gonna say for Xander, he did really great. I think Abbas Barral, he gave him his toughest challenge that he was able to adaptively break him down. in a calculated manner. I think Xander Zayas has proven himself to be a hardworking fighter that got everything correctly, and I think he deserves to be number one at 154. And I would like to see him go for undisputed. And I think he's just a dog, man. He's just an absolute monster. And as far as Zuffa boxing, that was a really great card. Jose Valenzuela went to war with that Mexican dude, Diego Torres. He's a pretty good fighter. Like, I actually like watching him a lot. And the rest of the fighters that fought on that card, it was just all action-packed fights. So, I mean, overall, I think boxing won, and I think, if this could keep up, maybe that'll go back to the old roots. But I would hope that can be more consistent heading into the future. So that's my take.
Nice, man. That was good. I like that take, and you was on it. You're on it all with everything. We're gonna go a little bit more into detail after D Free cooks. What's good, D Free, man? You ready for the Super Bowl? I know we're talking boxing, but I got to throw that in there.
Yeah, Benita Ball.
Yeah. I'm ready for the Super Bowl, but like K. Ross said, it was a great weekend of boxing. I mean, I picked just about every fight correct. It wasn't the correct outcome in every fight, but I picked about every fight correct. I thought that Shu Shu was going to make a statement because he was fighting for his first title and he was in his hometown, or should I say home state. And like K. Ross said, he became the first guy to win a title in Madison Square Garden. I knew he was going to make a statement, and I said between 8 and 9, Shu Shu was going to get him out of there. And he looked good. I mean, regardless of how people might think of what they might think of Shu Shu, he looked good Saturday night. I couldn't have asked for him to do anything better. I think he was on point in his whole approach to that fight. Shakur, I knew Shakur was going to win that fight. I said the only chance that T.O. had to win that fight was to be aggressive, but he's a bad come forward fighter. I said he's not going to be able to box with Shakur, and when he tried to press the action, Shakur is going to pick him apart, and he couldn't get around Shakur's jab the entire night. Xander Zayas, great performance. I think I gave Xander Zayas like 8 rounds. I think I gave Xander Zayas 8 rounds. He pretty much skated to a victory. He took the fight early on, and after that, it was a boss needed a knockout in order to win that fight. Josh Kelly was definitely a surprise. I didn't expect Josh Kelly to win, but I also said that I didn't have a lot of faith in Boxram because I looked at a couple of his previous fights, and boxers always gave Boxram trouble. He always had trouble when he fought against guys that were boxers. I think a lot of people gave him too much credit for the Tim Tszyu fight, and I knew it was just a matter of time before somebody like a Jerron Boots Ennis or even a Virgil Ortiz will beat Bartram because I think those guys are better fighters than Bartram. But it was a great night of a great weekend of boxing. I had a blast. I wasn't upset about anything. Keyshawn Davis put on a hell of a performance. He beat Jermaine Ortiz the entire fight. I didn't give Jermaine Ortiz a single round. Jermaine Ortiz almost made it out of there without getting knocked out. It was 11 seconds left on the clock when the referee waved it off. So he almost made it out of there, but Keyshawn did what he was supposed to do. He did what he said he was going to do. He was going to stop him. He was going to be the first person to stop him, and he did that. I want to see what they do next. I know he called out Devin Haney, but I think it's some smoke at 140 for Keyshawn and Shakur. You chasing Devin Haney. I don't think Keyshawn is ready for Devin Haney. Shakur, I think it'll be a chess match, but I don't think Keyshawn is ready for Devin Haney.
Okay, I mean, you've been spot on the whole time, both of you guys. I agree with both of you guys on everything you guys said. We'll go into more detail each one. I'm going to lead off with the first fight, the first championship fight of Saturday. and that was the Bachram versus Josh Kelly. I thought that was a good fight. I thought Josh Kelly had a great game plan in that fight, and he was in the right country to do it, in the right stadium, and to run that game plan. I think he boxed well, especially I want to say the first 7 rounds, and he dropped Bachram with a jab. Right, he was a little bit off balance, but it did sting. I think he was buzzed. He caught Bachram's attention, so it wasn't really like a flash knockdown. It was a good shot, off a jab. You know what I'm saying? He buzzed him a little bit. I thought Josh Kelly deserved the victory, but I also thought Bachram came back strong, and I wouldn't have been mad if it was a draw as well. And the second half of the fight, I think Josh Kelly, he got a little bit tired and gassed. And he did a lot more running. Because in the first 7, he was throwing punches while moving, around because he was moving the whole fight. But I think he tired down a little bit in the second half. Bachram got to him in that 9th round, dropped him. I thought he was going to close the show, but wisely, Kelly held on. He was holding on a lot. He was clinching a lot in those later rounds, and I have to call it for what I see it. He ran a lot of those last few rounds. So I wasn't aware of the scorecards until I was just recently on the US 6 hub with Oddfella and KG, and they brought it to my attention about they were protesting it. So I heard about the protest. I didn't really know what it was, but then when I looked up the score for myself, I didn't realize that one of the judges scored it a 10-10 round, and that was a big difference because if that judge scores a 10-9 for Bachram, it's a majority draw, and Bachram keeps his title. Right, but instead he wins a majority decision, 114-113. So in all, it should have been 113-113, but with the 10-10, it gave Josh Kelly 114-113. So that is a little bit suspect because you rarely see 10-10 rounds being scored, right? And that wasn't a round that was a 10-10. There was no way that was a close round, right? I think Bachram won that round clearly, but you hardly ever see 10-10 rounds, 10-10 scoring in a round. You hardly ever see that. Maybe in the first round, but I don't know what it
sounds like. What it sounds like? It sounds like the judge got caught up in the fight and he was scoring it as the fight was going. And then he realized, oh snap! I'm about to get in fight.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I didn't check to see where he was from because I got to see where these judges are from. But that judge, and then obviously the other 2 judges scored it the way it was. One judge had it a draw. One judge had it for Kelly. So that made a big difference because then only one judge would have had it for Kelly, but the other 2 a draw. Therefore, Bachram keeps his belt. But with that being said, I wasn't mad at either or. Like the decision, I would have been happy with either or. I thought it was close enough to be a draw. But credit to Josh Kelly. He fought the smart fight first half of the fight. But they're probably going to have to run it back because protests are hardly ever won. They hardly ever reverse anything. And they'll probably just enforce a rematch. I did see somebody drop in the chat earlier, Brandon Adams. I did see that. He's now the number 1 contender in the IBF. Good for him. I like Brandon Adams, even though he beat up my friend a couple of years ago with a body shot. But so I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm assuming to do the right thing, they'll do the rematch. Not sure where, and then Brandon Adams will get his shot next. So, but yeah, that was a good starter for the day of boxing, that main event in the UK. That started off the Saturday of all the title fights that we saw. But I thought it was a good fight. I was happy with either verdict. It's kind of suspect on that judge, but I'm gonna hear what K-Rod and D-Free, what you got to say. K-Rod, you go first.
Yeah, do you want me to talk about Kelly versus Bachram, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, I thought overall it was a draw. I just I wasn't thinking Kelly really pulled it off like that, knowing that Bachram, he had more of the momentum coming into the later rounds. So I think Kelly, he needs to run that back because it's I've always been very questionable against European fighters, especially UK fighters, and I think Josh Kelly, he's within that litmus where, yes, he's good as a pure boxer, but it's once you start pressuring him and once you start testing his actual will, I think that just basically shows that he has a lot more flaws that he should have worked on a lot earlier, and I think Bachram, he should have capitalized it a lot more for him to secure a stronger victory, because if he had a little bit more technicality in his skill, he would have knocked out Kelly. But knowing that Kelly was able to survive for the full distance, I think Kelly was only able to barely win simply based off of what you had said about the 10-10 scoring round. So I think him and Kelly definitely need a fight, again in a rematch.
Yeah. I listen. I think you're spot on. I'm in agreement of that. A draw would have been fine. I thought a draw would have been suffice, but I don't think he did. I think he did enough to take the title away. Sometimes they say that you got to beat the champion to take the title away. I think he did do enough, but I wouldn't have been mad if it was a draw. Because like I said, the first half of the fight, Kelly did fight smart. Listen, inactivity matters. Bachman being out of the ring so long, that had to take effect on him as well. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really get cooking until like the 7th, 8th round. You know what I'm saying? So, but go ahead, D Free.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back looking at that fight, I didn't watch it a second time. I just watched it that night that it came on. But me remembering the fight, I think Bachman he came on a little too late. If he would have started a round or two earlier, how he ended the fight, I think he would have pulled out the victory, because, like you said, Josh Kelly, he really didn't have nothing left towards the end of that fight. He was holding on. He was doing a lot of moving and not really throwing punches. He was trying to stay away because Bartram started going in for the knockout, because I think somebody in the corner said he might need a knockout. So it looked like he was going for the knockout. Um, but I think he came on just a little too late. Um, but I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I don't think Josh Kelly keep his belt too much longer, um, unless they give him like some showcase fights or some cakewalks just to prance him around as the new champion. But I don't think he keep his belt too much longer, because he's a fighter that can box against guys that can't move their feet. If you put him in there with somebody else that can box, Josh Kelly is not that great as a boxer. He's good against somebody that don't move their feet, but with another boxer, he's not that good. Um, so if you get him in there with a guy like uh, Xander Zayas or Jerron Businis or Virgil Ortiz, or even if you get him in there with a guy like Abbas, I think Abbas will beat Josh Kelly. I don't think he keep his belt too much longer. Brandon Adams might even beat him. So I don't think he keep his belt too much longer. I think maybe one or two fights, and then Josh Kelly going to end up getting beat, and somebody else going to be the new champion.
Okay. I think they're gonna have the rematch next. I think they're gonna force the rematch, unless they give Brandon Adams a shot. I mean, which would be cool, but let's see how it plays out. Obviously they're gonna go through this protest, and like I said, protests usually never go through. They hardly ever work. My man Bruce Gas in the building. He says he thought it was a draw. Kelly got the home advantage. Yeah, I think he got the home advantage too. I agree with that. The crowd definitely was rooting him on, and that helps. That probably influenced the judges a little bit, in some of those rounds, but yeah, he definitely ran. And I don't like to say that, man. I don't like to say he ran, but it was obvious he was running in like the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and he was doing a lot of clinching. I was saying the same thing. Even my wife was saying it too. She was like, "Yo, what is he doing? He's running." And I was like, she doesn't really know. It's like, casual, not even a casual. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to say that, but he definitely did. You know what I'm saying? He was smart in the first half. He did do a little bit of running in the first half, but at least he was throwing punches. But yeah, man, I agree with that 1,000%. But nevertheless, it was a good, entertaining fight. We saw the monster get dropped, right? Because everybody's saying that Bachman was the big monster, and he got dropped, a legit shot too. So credit to both fighters. Bachman's gonna have to stay active. He can't be waiting a year and 3 months or 2 months, whatever it was, to fight. He's got to be more active. I'm a big advocate for activity in the sport. Guys fighting more than 2 to 3 times in a year. This one time a year is not going to cut it. You know what I'm saying? So let's move on. Let's go to the Garden. We already talked a little bit about Shu Shu. I said what I had to say about Shu Shu. you guys want to touch up a little bit about Shu Shu in the fight. He did get hurt in this fight. From my I haven't really watched it on TV. I haven't watched any video. I watched it live. From my standing point, from my view, I thought it was the back of the head. People are telling me it was behind the ear. What did you guys see? And tell me a little bit about that fight.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, I thought that was Shu Shu's like toughest fight to date because granted, like, some people like to say Carlos Castro, he's not that good. And granted, I can partially like agree because Carlos Castro, he hasn't done anything notable in the division, but I think that fight took the best version out of Shu Shu for him to shine because Castro, even though that he's lost up against the top level competition, he was still dangerous throughout the entire fight to give Shu Shu his toughest battle. And the shots that Shu Shu was taking from Carlos, it kind of looked like he was about to get knocked down, but Shu Shu, he had really good bearings to basically keep himself, basically properly stable throughout the fight. And I think honestly what Shu Shu should have done better is anytime when Carlos was trying to land power shots off of him, Shu Shu should have clinched him a lot more to force him to reset, and then therefore he could set up traps to hurt Carlos a lot faster. So I think Shu Shu, he was trying too much to go toe to toe with him when he could have just used more boxing fundamentals. But overall, he got the job done, and he knocked him out. It was like a tough battle, and I think Shu Shu, he did very well, heading into the later portion of the rounds, heading into that fight.
Okay.
I watched the fight on TV. And that punch was a little bit behind the head. It was like right there on the borderline. Depending on the angle that you look at it, you could say it was behind the ear. Other angles, it was behind the head. So it was like right on the borderline. But he recovered well. And that three-piece combination to put him down and knock him out, that's on ridiculous. I mean, I think Shu Shu might have had his best boxing moment in that fight in his entire career because I don't recall Shu Shu putting on a type of performance like he did Saturday night. He had other moments where he looked good, but I think this is probably the best that I've seen Shu Shu. He stood there and fought when he needed to. He boxed when he needed to. He was defensive when he needed to. Outside of that one punch that kind of hit him on the borderline, he covered himself well. But I can't take nothing away from what Shu Shu did. He put on a heck of a performance, and I hope to see him in another title fight. Hopefully, he can unify with one of the other champions because I know he wants to improve on his status as a champion now. He got over that hurdle, and I remember when we did the interview with him, and I remember I told him, I said, within another year, you're going to be fighting for a title, and that was almost a year ago when we had that interview with Shu Shu, and he's a champion now.
Well, it was actually 2 years. As I was saying, he was 10-0. So he that's what
it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Man, it's been that long?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago because I went back and looked last night. It was the end of 2023, actually. So, and this fight was beginning of 2026. Yeah. So he was 10-0, and this was his 7th fight since that day. I want to say I'll double check that.
I didn't even know it was that long ago. Yeah, we be doing a lot of daggone interviews.
Yeah, that was like the first year I started doing content, I think. So I think it was 2023. I thought it was 2024. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm
looking at it now. I'm about to go look at it now.
Let me see.
Yeah, he put on a heck of a performance. I mean, like I said, that's probably his best performance I've seen him to date.
Yeah, I'm gonna just try to look it up now because now I want to be sure because I looked it up last night. Now I'm second guessing myself. Hold on.
No, you might be. Hold up. 8 months. Yeah, you might be right because I'm at 8 months. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because
it was
it'll be on your
before.
channel too. So it says
It
two
was.
years ago.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. I'm looking at it now. That we did a lot of interviews because that was before.
Yeah,
That was before
December.
we
Yeah,
did
it was.
the Stitch interview.
Yeah, it was December. It was before Christmas of 2023. Yeah. So we had to 2024,
Yep,
2025. Yeah.
2 years
So
ago.
yeah,
Yep, 2 years
yeah,
ago.
yeah. So, but yeah, Shushu, this is definitely his toughest opponent, probably the best opponent he's faced. You know, Castro's been in there with some good fighters. He arguably could have beat Fulton, right? Uh, shout out to FaZe the Great. I didn't see this. I'm sorry. Shout out to you. Salute to you. Thanks for coming through. Um, you know, he arguably lost to Fulton. He's fought Figueroa. He's fought Lewis Neary at a lower weight. You know, had a close fight with him. So Castro, you know, he's been battle tested. It was a good win, and he was a big puncher, and Shu Shu took it well. You know, yeah, he was hurt, whether it was behind the head or not. You know, that's a good argument from my view. I thought it was behind the head. He composed himself. He took it and did what champions are made of. Went in there and, you know, got the guy out of there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very impressed with him. Very happy for him. And now let's move on. You know, like a lot of people always look and be critical. Oh, he got hurt in the fight, or he could have got knocked out. Well, Espinoza, when he fought Robisi, if there was 15 seconds left, and I believe it was the sixth round, you know, you
Mm-hmm.
guys can fact check me if you want. I don't know why I have the sixth round in my head, but if there was like 15, 20 more seconds in that sixth round when Robisi dropped Espinoza, nobody would be talking about Espinoza today. Nobody, because he would have got him out of there because Espinoza was hurt badly in that round. Now,
Yeah.
credit to him, he came back. You know, the bell rang, got to his corner, came back, and he dropped Robisi in that fight, and he won the fight. So much credit to him. But people, you don't hear people talking bad about Espinoza. All they're talking about is how tall he is and that he'll beat everybody. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Shu Shu, they'll criticize, oh, he got hurt. He was wobbly a little bit. But nobody talks about Espinoza against Robisi. So I want to point that out there. You know what I'm saying? So, and Angelo Leo, he's a champion. I think he's been stopped before, right? Did Fulton stop him or he beat him?
I'm not sure. I gotta look his resume
Yeah,
up.
I
I'm
don't
not
know why
sure.
I feel like he stopped Angelo Leo. I don't know why I feel like he did. I could be wrong, but either way, he lost. He's lost already. And then the other champion, Nick Ball, you know, he fought Vargas. I thought he won that fight, and they scored a draw. I thought that was BS. He beat Raymond Ford. So I think Nick Ball, he's been well battle tested. He's got a big fight tomorrow against Figueroa. But I think Angelo Leo, I think he got stopped by Fulton.
No, he didn't. He didn't get stopped. He lost.
Okay,
He didn't get stopped.
okay. Yeah, but he lost. So all those guys has been tested. So that's what I'm saying. When it comes to Shu Shu, people will say, oh, he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? And just on cue, my guy Just Do comes in here. This is the guy that builds up fighters. No hate in his blood. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the same way. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you, Just Do.
But
You know,
hey,
people what they did wrong, but nobody talks about Espinoza. You know, when if there was like 20 or 25 more seconds in that round against Robisi, like I said, I think it was the sixth round. Nobody really talk about Espinoza today. You know, and nobody brings that up. Salute to my guy.
I told everybody that Shu Shu was gonna show everybody the reason why Cool Boy moved to 130. He showed everybody the reason why Cool Boy moved to 130. Cool Boy didn't want no parts of Shu Shu.
And I love Cool Boy. I think Cool Boy is great, but you know, he got kind of exposed a little bit. He didn't come in shape in that fight against Oshaki. So, you know, we'll see what happens to him. But, you know, as far as Shu Shu's concerned, like I said, I can't say it enough. I'm very proud of him and happy for him. And let's see what he does next. Salute to my man, BVO, with coming in, talking crazy as usual. D Free, my guy, love from Cleveland. Keep doing your thing. And then he calls me Radamez and he says, I hate black fighters. This is what I got to deal with. This is what I got to deal with BVO. It's crazy. I wish somebody was. This is unbelievable. Let's move on to the next fight. Go to the next fight in that card. We'll go to Keyshawn Davis against Jermaine Ortiz. I thought that was an excellent performance by Keyshawn Davis. Salute to my man Champ Ross. I did my picks, bro. I did my picks. I just want you to know that. Just Two says Shu Shu got hurt and worked through it and dug deep and got the picture perfect KO in spectacular fashion. He showed grit and dog when he faced adversity. That will make Shu Shu a lot better in the future. I 1,000% agree. And that's what I'm saying. The way you just worded that and said it was perfect. But you'll have other people just talk about how he was hurt and nothing else. Crazy. It's crazy. This is what boxing fans or quote unquote boxing fans do. You know what I'm saying? But the way you just said it was perfect. Um, he says, "Yes, sir." He would, yeah, because I'll be forgetting, man. But let's go. It's Keyshawn Davis and Jermaine Ortiz. This Jermaine Ortiz, we've seen him in there, battle tested before. Some people thought he beat Loma. Some people thought the fight with Loma was a draw. Some people said he beat Tio. Some people might have said it was a draw. Some people say he didn't do enough, but he exposed Tio a little bit. At the end of the day, Jermaine Ortiz has been battle tested, and he showed that he's a real good fighter, and he belongs at the level that he's on. But when it came to Keyshawn, people were questioning, like, this is the best guy he's ever fought. He's not really fought anybody. He's the toughest guy in his opponent, toughest guy he's ever faced as a professional. And in my opinion, because you guys are going to speak next, Keyshawn made it look easy. I thought he was really sharp. I mean, I have to use the word sharp because in the opening rounds, I thought his punch placement was beautiful from my view. Now, you guys had a better view on TV from my view, and I had good seats. I wasn't up in the boondocks watching on TV. I was on the floor, right? But nevertheless, I was still distance from the ring. From my view, I thought Keyshawn looked phenomenal, and he made Jermaine Ortiz look kind of amateurish. Jermaine Ortiz was game in that fight. Don't get me wrong, but he broke. I mean, if you want to ever see a guy break another fighter down, what Keyshawn did to Jermaine Ortiz was break him down surgically. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, if you look at his face, he killed, I think, his left eye. He bruised it, nearly closed it, and then he came down to the body, hurt him to the body, dropped him, finished him in the 12th. Whether or not they should have stopped the fight or not, at the end of the day, he broke Jermaine Ortiz down. He made it look easy. And look who just came in. I'm gonna use his words. Keyshawn Davis is a dog, right? And this is what my man 903 be saying. Keyshawn Davis is a dog, bro. Keyshawn Davis is one of my favorite fighters right now in the sport of boxing, and he's only getting better. So the only bad thing he did, I didn't like the call out of Devin Haney, because if he's not really going to take the fight, I didn't like that. I think it makes him look a little bit bad. But as far as performances, as far as skills, as far as his talent, it's there. He's one of them guys, bro. So I'll just land the plane there. Salute to my man 903 Boxing. He says Keyshawn D, very underrated. Very underrated. You know what I'm saying? I think Keyshawn gets hit because he wants to get hit sometimes, right? Because he wants to engage with you sometimes. That's the dog in him, right? But it's very underrated. I definitely agree with this. D-Free, you lead off first, then we'll go to K-Rod. D-Free, what did you think of Keyshawn's performance against
you? He put on a great performance. I was scoring the fight. I didn't give Ortiz a single round. Keyshawn Davis won every single round of that entire fight. I think Keyshawn started stepping up the activity when he realized that Jermaine Ortiz couldn't hurt him. Jermaine Ortiz wasn't sitting down on his punches. He was more so trying to stay away from Keyshawn Davis' punches. And once Keyshawn realized that, he started stepping up the action and trying to get him out of there. And he was able to succeed in the 12th round. But nah, he put on a heck of a performance. That was by far his best opponent of his career. I mean, you look at the opponents that Keyshawn Davis fought. I don't think any of those opponents beat Jermaine Ortiz. But Keyshawn Davis, he stepped his game up Saturday night, and he looked like he had something to prove. We all know what happened last year, almost a year from well, it'll be a year come next week of what happened, and he wasn't able to have that fight. And he made a statement. He was like he's back, and he wanted everybody to know that he's back. Is he going to go to 47? I don't know. I think there's a lot of smoke for him at 140. You have Antoine there. You have Matias. I don't know what's going to happen with Tio. You have a couple of other guys that's right there at 40 that he can get. Um, so I don't know what he's going to do. Is if he goes to 47, is smoke there too? I don't know. I don't know where he goes because he's calling out Devin. Now, like I said, I don't think he's ready for the Devin fight just yet. But if he wants to get in there, by all means, get in there. I'm not holding nobody's hand. I'm not nobody's father that's in the sport of boxing. So if he wants to get in there, by all means, get in there. I just don't think he's ready for a Devin Haney right now. I think it will be a great fight. I think it will be an action-packed fight, but I think he's just a little too unexperienced. I mean, too inexperienced for Devin Haney. I think Keyshawn Davis versus Rolly Romero. I think that will be an exciting fight. I think Keyshawn Davis versus Ryan Garcia will be an exciting fight. I think those two fights are winnable fights for Keyshawn Davis. I just don't think that Devin Haney is a winnable fight for him right now. He could win. I just don't think he will right now.
Okay. Before we get to K-Rod, let me get 903 Boxing says, I don't know. Albright might be his best opponent. I don't know. It's close. Ortiz definitely for a better I mean, that's fair. That's a fair statement. Albright is nice. And Albright's got a tough fight too. I mean, he's gonna fight Frank Martin, I believe. He got
Frank Martin on the 21st.
That's a banger of a fight, man. I like Albright. Albright is nice. Albright is very tricky. He can box.
I forgot he did fight Albright. I forgot. Yeah, Albright is a good opponent too. I forgot.
Yeah, nobody mentions that. Yeah, that's a very good point. A lot of people forget that he fought Albright, and Albright is good, bro. That's a very good point, man. Thank you for that 903. Man, Keyshawn against anybody is good right now. I like Keyshawn. I don't think he's ready to move up and fight Devin just yet. Why rush it? But there's a lot of good fights to be made at 140. I don't know if you mentioned Hitchens. Hitchens is there. Dalton Smith is there. I like Dalton Smith. I don't think Dalton Smith beats Hitchens or Keyshawn, but I think he'll be competitive, and he'll make it an entertaining fight. You know what I'm saying? And I think eventually, it's crazy. I like Dalton Smith, and I think Dalton Smith is better than what people may think of him. But I think Keyshawn and Hitchens stops Dalton Smith. But that's just an opinion. But I think it's a good fight, on the eyes for us to see. But I'll move it over to K-Rod. You cook on this for a little bit, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, I think overall Keyshawn Davis just annihilated Jermaine. I think Jermaine, he's a good fighter, but his flaws really caught up, to the best of him. And I think Keyshawn, he is a good fighter when he puts in the hard work, and it basically showcases it. I think as far as the Devin Haney fight, I'm not really against seeing Keyshawn in there with Devin. I think Keyshawn should probably get it in now, knowing that you did call Devin Haney out. So, you have to answer to that particular call out. And I think, that pressure should be pushed on to Keyshawn Davis if you're, actually serious about fighting Devin. So I think if Keyshawn Davis, if he wants to go into that direction, that should be the next fight. But if not, there's plenty of great fights at at 140 that Keyshawn can fight. Knowing that Shakur Stevenson, he will be quote unquote based off of what could possibly happen. Let's just say if Shakur goes back down to 135 and Keyshawn Davis fights for the WBO title, what could happen in this particular mix is that I wouldn't mind seeing Keyshawn Davis go ahead and probably fight for the vacant title and unify with any of the other champions like Dalton Smith, Richardson, Hitchens, and then like anybody else that's coming up, as of the next up and coming contender for the titles. I think Keyshawn, he has like a lot of smoke to be cleared at 140, but if 147 is like a way bigger opportunity for him to get bigger names up there, I'm definitely for him going straight after Devin Haney, because it's like, there's more publicity with that fight, and that's going to skyrocket your name higher, regardless if you win or you lose. So I think Keyshawn should basically shoot for the stars and don't make any particular, excuses for that. So either way, he's a good talent, but he needs to be consistent. And I think Keyshawn Davis, he has like a lot of work, put right in front of him, and he has to prove it.
Okay, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think I think you might be a little bit too critical on Keyshawn, but I think it's fair because he hasn't fought in a year, and he's going to have to get his activity up a little bit more. We know what he did. He was supposed to fight De Los Santos. That's a bad look.
Yeah,
on his career right there. Some people may say he didn't want to fight De Los Santos, and that's why he came in overweight. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a fair statement as well. We'll never know what's in the mind of these fighters, and particularly we don't know what's in the mind of Keyshawn and what his mindset was. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of good fights we made at 135. Now he's at 140. There's a lot of good fights we made at 140, and then you got the big dog, the money guy is at 147, which is Devin Haney. So he's got a lot of options. I just don't like to call out if you're really not serious about it. But I'm going to pause real quick because you see my man 88 is a big time hater, and I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember this, bro. I'm going to remember this because when the Packers, and I think we're going to play the Packers next year. I can't wait to smoke the Packers next year. The Green Bay Packers. You're a Packers fan, right? Who underachieved this year. You lost to the Browns this year. You're a hater. You're going to root for the Patriots now against the Seahawks. That is hate, 88. I'm going to remember this. I got it clipped here for a reason. I'm going to hold on to this, bro. And then don't let me have a victory live this Sunday when we beat the Pats. Don't let me do it. And you better pull up too. You better pull up. You better pull up after we beat the Patriots. That's hate in your blood, bro. Unbelievable. Mad hate, bro. And look, there he goes. Unbelievable, bro. Not even D Free is hating on me like that, man. Unbelievable, man. Anyway,
does Aaron Rodgers still play for the Packers? Or
no, he's gone. He was on the Steelers. They got this guy Love. This bomb.
I'm not hating on Seattle because that's a good game.
It's a rematch.
The Patriots versus Seahawks. That's a good game.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a Super Bowl live, a preview tomorrow night. I just got to pick a time. My man, Worm is gonna be up. He's gonna be up too. So.
Yeah, well, I hope the Seahawks actually win because I know there's a Puerto Rican that actually plays on the team. So.
For the Seahawks.
Yeah. I actually have to go find them.
The only Puerto Rican I know that plays is the running back for the Chiefs. He's Puerto Rican. He's from New Jersey. Really? Yeah, the running back. What's the running back name? D Free. I don't know. I can't get it.
Protect.
The running back for the Chiefs. He went to Rutgers from Jersey. Jesus, why I can't get this?
Start with a P. I want to say Pacheco, but it's not Pacheco.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh,
Pacheco. Yeah. Yeah, he's Puerto Rican. He's Puerto Rican from New Jersey.
Yeah, the guy. The guy that I'm possibly talking about is Federico Marangas, right? Federico Marangas, is that him?
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican. I didn't know he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go, man. Let's go. But let's get back to boxing. My man 903 says, I definitely want to see Keyshawn invest in the bodyboard. Yeah, I would love to too. That's 2 straight fights. He stopped the guy to the body. The vicious body work. So definitely would love to see that. But there's so many good fights at 140, bro. I know he's never going to fight Shakur. I would love to see it. Maybe they do fight later down the road. Maybe they got nobody else. And maybe they can meet up at 147. Maybe they might be supposed undefeated at that time. Even though if one of them face Hitchens, because I think Hitchens is an extreme wild card.
I still want to see the Keyshawn versus Frank Martin at 140.
I would love to see that too. That's a good fight. I mean, we're now with Frank Martin. He's with Buddy now, right?
Yeah,
he's with Buddy McGurk. So Listen, man, that shit, that's 140 is crazy right now. But let's see how he looks against Albright because Albright's not coming in to lay down. Albright could come ahead.
I think Frank Mark's gonna stop Albright. I think he's gonna stop Albright.
Ooh, wow. Okay,
I got a ninth round stoppage.
Okay. I mean, Frank Martin is there. I like Hitchens a lot. I think Hitchens is the wild card because I think Hitchens can beat anybody there as well. We just got to, see him in the big fights.
Hitchens ain't beating nobody.
We got your cousin in there.
Gary ain't beating nobody. That man's scary.
Wow. So let's do this. Let's do this. Is Gary Antoine beating the Japanese guy? Is he winning that fight?
Of course he's winning. You're talking about is he winning that fight?
I don't think he's gonna win.
You see what I'm saying? That's not an easy fight. That guy's good.
Yeah, Andy, he's a very
care how good he is. He ain't better than Gary.
Oh, you're setting yourself up. You're setting yourself up. You saying he's going to win?
I'm setting myself up to win some money. That's what I'm setting myself up to.
Also, Gary, he's been out of the ring for what? Like almost
he's been out of the ring for less than a year. He just won the title.
No, it's been about a year. No shot.
He just won the title against El Rayo. It wasn't a year.
Was it like February or something?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was.
Don't make me look this up.
Yeah, I can look this up. This is easy.
D-Free, you about to get roasted. He better beat that Japanese guy. I think he's half African.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
He fought March 1st. He fought on
March. Yeah, so that's damn near. Yeah, that's damn near.
First of all, I would never get roasted. Second of all, Gary is going to win the fight.
I don't think so.
Don't let Gary lose this fight, D-Free, because we are going to roast you. Don't let it happen. The difference between me and the rest of y'all is I don't have a favorite fighter. If he lose, he lose.
No, I know that. No, he's
a dog.
I've known you for how many years now? I know you don't have a favorite fighter. I know that's not
you.
If
he lose, he lose.
That's family.
How would I get roasted if he lose?
That's family.
So what? You trying to say your family never lost a fight?
Oh, they lost plenty.
Okay, so what are you talking about?
All right, but you're making a statement that he's going to win. It's like you're not giving this guy any credit. It's like this is automatic. You're saying it's a layup. That's what you're saying.
I didn't say it was a layup. I just said he's going to win. I didn't say it was a layup. I said he was going to win.
Okay, it sounds like you said it was a layup.
Hey, if you want, he might make it look like a layup, like he did at Rayo.
He did make that fight like a layup. Yeah, he made that look easy. Okay, we'll see. I think that's a tough fight. My man 903 agrees. He says Hiroka's a monster. I worry for Gary. Hey, let's see. He hasn't fought in almost a year. When is that fight?
Hiroka. He hasn't fought in 2 years, but I mean, it's still
Hiroka, when did Hiroka last fought?
Like 2 years ago.
Oh shit. Okay, so and he fought the old man. He fought Barossa.
He's Mayo Barossa.
Yeah, he fought the old man that Rolly fought. That Rolly was losing to. Okay. We'll see. I think it's a tough fight, but yeah, both guys been inactive. But yeah, see, hey, we're gonna see. I think that's a good fight. But so basically, you're saying, damn, when we went off topic because we didn't even get to the main event of the Garden. But you basically saying that Russell would beat Hitchens without a problem?
Yes, without a shadow of a doubt.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
No, he beat the man 4 times. The man don't want a rematch.
Lisa, let me get a pen. I want to write this down. What D-Free just said. I want to.
No.
I want to write this down.
He's a better fighter.
Hold on. Have you seen the amateur fight Richardson versus Antoine?
Yep, I've seen it.
No, not nail one of the fights was even close.
Yeah,
you watched Richardson. Watched him every time he fought.
Okay.
It wasn't close.
All right, look, I just want to write this down. I want to make sure I don't want to misquote anybody.
Didn't Boots beat him at least one time?
Boots beat him once. He beat Boots 3 times.
Yeah.
Gary Antoine?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually
Yeah.
watched. I actually watched like one of their fights on YouTube, and I actually remember Gary Antoine beating Boots like in the
Gary Antoine beat him 3 times. Boots won 1.
yeah, Gary Antoine beat Boots in the U.S. national team qualifiers for the Olympic team. I
Yep.
know that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Listen, D Free, I'm not making fun or anything like that. You're entitled to your opinion. I just want to make sure because I like to be accurate when I clown, right? Because you clown too. Don't get it twisted. You like to clown too. That's why I was just asking for a pen because I wanted to write down the exact quote. That's all. I'm not doing anything wrong, bro. I just wanted to write the exact quote down that you said. That's it. So that if that fight happens, we could go back to the recordings, or we go back to the the statements. That's it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Like I said, he go. No, the man Richardson Hitchens don't even want to fight Antoine. He told Antoine to go get his name up, and look who Richardson Hitchens is fighting.
He's fighting
can't
Oscar
dispute
Duarte.
that. Yeah, I can't debate that. You're right.
Yeah, he's fighting Duarte.
Right, he's fighting Duarte. He told Antoine, get your name up first. Antoine is a champion in the same division that you're in. Antoine beat you 4 times in the amateurs. You're fighting Duarte.
You're right. Hey,
Yeah.
when you're right, D Free. You make a great point.
But wait, D Free, like I have like a question. Are you making like the claim to say Gary Antoine, he's not getting the opportunity as a champion, so therefore not being able to get the opportunity with Hitchens is simply being like ducked by him, directly from him, so therefore he's being frozen out?
I mean, that's what it seemed like. It seemed like they doing Antoine the same way they did his brother.
Yeah, but you don't think that has anything to do with the PBC?
Nah, no. Because Richardson Hitchens ain't a part of PBC. The PBC was the reason why Antoine is a champion. And Ryo had just beat Pitbull Cruz. They put him right into a fight with Antoine. Yeah, just beat Pitbull.
Well, they gotta. I mean, after this fight, this is February 21st or whatever, 2 weeks, right? After this fight, he's got to push for a fight. That he's not waiting a whole year. This is a year.
How much more can he push for a fight? He just said all of y'all some pussies. Y'all don't want to fight. Y'all don't want to unify. How much more can he push?
Yeah.
I mean, I think honestly, like if he could at least try to, go for, well,
no.
Yeah,
even Matias called out T.O. and Richardson Hitchens. He didn't mention Antoine. Somebody else asked him about Antoine. He said, "Yeah, that'll be a good fight too."
That is true.
He wanted T.O. and Richardson Hitchens. He didn't say nothing about Antoine.
He didn't. You're right. He only said Hitchens, and he showed up again. He showed up and spoke to Hitchens. He showed up and spoke and tried to slap T.O. So, no, you're right.
Yeah,
they don't want to fight Antoine. Antoine is getting the same treatment that his brother got. They see that if Antoine wouldn't have beat El Rayo the way he did, they probably would try to get into a fight with him. But Antoine showed that he's not just a come forward fighter. He can box as well, which I've been telling people for years. I'm saying that I told everybody Antoine can box. He just never had to. And he showed everybody, I can box just as well. And now everybody like, oh, he got more wrinkles to his game. I didn't see that.
No, you're right. I think he's a better version of his brother. I don't think he could box as good as his brother, but he definitely got more power.
Yeah, it's just that, the thing is like, if you're not getting like enough work at your particular division, i.e. 140, why not just move up to the next, weight class? So therefore you could get more money up there and bigger fights up there. Like, I just think like where it stands is like, yeah, like if nobody doesn't want to fight you at a division and you're sitting as a champion, just move up to the next weight class and just go right ahead and just get bigger money fights up there.
But see, the thing is, him moving up to another weight class I don't think. I mean, he probably can do it, but I don't think he's having problem making 140. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if he even said I can go down to 135. I don't think he's having a problem making 140. Look how long his brother stayed at 126.
And he's a
I
big
don't.
big 140.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
He's like 5'10".
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
well, he's not quite 5'10". They say he is. He's about 5'8", but they say he's
5'8".
5'10".
Okay.
Yeah, he's about 5'8", but they say he's 5'10".
He's taller than he's taller than Junior.
6 feet.
Yeah,
He's taller than Junior, right?
Huh?
He's taller than Gary Jr., right?
You say he's doing what?
He's taller than Gary Jr., right?
Yeah, he's definitely taller.
I've met Gary Jr. a couple of times,
Yeah,
and he's
Mr. Gary Russell was like 5'4", 5'5" at the tallest.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like 5'4", 5'5" at the tallest.
Yeah.
But Antoine is like 5'8". I stood next to Antoine. I'm 5'10", and I'm taller than Antoine.
Yeah, he's
So
about my
I
height.
know.
Yeah, because I'm about 5'8".
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know he's
Say
not
something,
5'8".
say
He's
something.
5'10", but he ain't that tall.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say something because you like to joke. Listen, I dropped the link in the chat. Anybody want to come up and talk a little bit boxing? You guys are welcome. We got a couple more fights to mention, and then we'll freestyle a little bit before we get out of here. I salute everybody that came through and show love today. I appreciate y'all. Y'all, like I said, y'all want to come up and talk.
Let's get to my boy.
To the main event.
Yeah.
Let's get to the main event. The 140 WBO championship.
No. That's not my boy. That's not my boy.
Well, who you want to talk about? Because that's
my boy is Xander Zayas.
Okay, that's last. We're on the Madison Square Garden card.
Oh, you're
right. We did Keyshawn and Jermaine Ortiz, and now we're gonna go to the other Puerto Rican.
I mean, it ain't really much to say because it was a one-sided fight.
One-sided fight. What did he say? Let me see. I think this is what he said.
What I gotta do to let y'all niggas know, I am the nicest.
Ever. Shakur, baby. The nicest ever. Great performance. A lot of people have been seeing like kind of, saying that that's what he was supposed to do. Yeah, I think that's what he was supposed to do because Teal's been exposed before, but nobody's beaten Teal's ass the way Shakur beat his ass this past Saturday in what many people would kind of consider, in quotes, I'll put the quotes up, his hometown a fight, even though, he was kind of raised in Florida, but, he claims Brooklyn, but this fight was in New York City. And Shakur, masterclass performance. The jab was phenomenal. He kept the jab in his face pretty much all night. He had this guy, dancing from the ring entrance, right? Because the ring entrance was the best performance that Tio had the whole night, right? That was a great performance, that ring entrance. That ring walk was great. He had him dancing in the fight, switching to southpaw a few times, which is like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Shakur, even in the 10th, 11th, and 12th round, the championship rounds, Shakur didn't let up. It's like he was trying to stop him. He sat on his punches a little bit more because he didn't have to, engage as much as he did. But a very, very superb performance by Shakur. I mean, he marked up his face, 2 swollen eyes. I know one was maybe off a headbutt with the cut, but both eyes were swollen. His face was swollen up. I mean, this was another surgical ass whipping. You know what I'm saying? And a statement to be made by Shakur. I know everybody's been talking about Devin Haney and Shakur, the best 2 guys, and that Shakur should move up and fight Devin. If he doesn't, then it's a duck and blah 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 and this and that. I will ask this question before you guys cook because I asked this question to Oddfella and KG earlier. Who did it better moving up to 140 and winning a title? Who did it better? Haney against Regis or Shakur against Tio? Whoever wants to go first, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think it has to be Devin versus Regis because that fight showed a lot more like higher skill level from Devin, and he just shut Regis down throughout the whole fight, and he came close to knocking out Regis in that fight after he had dropped him in that fight. So I think Devin did a more definitive job. Compared to Shakur, he used great boxing fundamentals, and it was just a straight jab all night long. So Teofimo, he literally got beat up off of just like a single jab. And, that just shows, Shakur, he's very technically dangerous with his precise, accurate punching. So I think Devin, he just closed out better.
I think it comes down to who you think put on a better performance from the opponent, because I think both the guys, Devin and Shakur, put on an excellent performance. I don't think either one of them could have did anything better than what they did. I think they both put on an excellent performance. It comes down to, out of their opponents, which one of them fought better. Regis just kept coming straight forward. Tio, he tried to mix it up and come forward and be a counter puncher, and he tried to fight out of the southpaw stand and switch to orthodox. He tried different things. Nothing worked. I would say it's a draw, in my opinion, because Shakur, he was just a better fighter. And when you look at Devin versus Regis, Devin was just a better fighter. I don't think either one of them outclassed each other in their performance coming up to 144 title. I don't think either one of them. I think both of them put on a heck of a performance. In my opinion, I would say it's a draw.
I think I have to go with Shakur, and there's a couple reasons why. Because I think Tio was the best guy at 140. Being a ring champion, the more experienced guy at 140 than Regis was, because I think Josh Taylor was still kind of the man at 140 when Regis was there. And Regis is a lot older than Tio as well. So I think as far as the better performance, like you said, they both had great performances and they both did damage. Like I said, Devin broke a record in that fight because he limited Regis to like the least amount of punches or like that in a world title fight. I think he broke a record. Some record, it was some weird record like that he broke, and then he dropped Regis, and then Shakur, he beats up the number one guy in Tio. Also, I'm going to add is that Regis's previous opponent and previous fight before that was against Zerto. And a fight some people thought Zerto won. Zerto dropped Regis in that fight, right? And then Tio's previous opponent was against Barboza. And some say that was the best performance of the night at the Times Square. So I definitely favor Shakur. And not that it matters much, but like a lot of people do this when it comes to the fan bases. They do that where, like the Haney fan bases, the Tank fan bases, the Shakur fan bases, they do that. But like, well, who did it better? Or who fought the better guy? What I'm saying? When they come about like this guy's ducking and this guy did a better performance, and he made the better moves, yada, yada, yada. So I like to bring up this scenario because both guys kind of did similar things. Their first title fight, their first fight at that weight class was a title fight. And, they did phenomenal performances. But, I just think one clearly did better than the other as far as the opponent is concerned. And in my opinion, it was Shakur. So with that being said, we'll move on a little bit because I know Dub is on here. He's going to cook. I just want to get at Mr. Shelton. I'm 5'8", jerk face. Watch it. And yes, I messed up on the thumbnail. I do these things quick, but who cares, right? It's just a thumbnail. Sue me. I'm sorry. The thumbnail got you to click the link and come in here. So thank you. I appreciate you coming through. But it was a bad thumbnail. My man, Dub Right Side, man. Salute to you. We've been cooking on these championship fights, these fights that happened last Saturday. Right now we're on Shakur against Tio. Tell us what you think. How's your week been going? How's life? You know what I'm saying? You ready for the Super Bowl, my Seahawks? You know what I'm saying? Talk to us, Dub, man. How are you, bro?
Man, shout out to my brother TD in the building. It's always fun when I get it on a good Friday. I get a chance to rock with y'all. Shout out to my brother Free K-Rod is in the building, man. Salute to K-Rod. That's my brother right there as well. Look, man, it was just and y'all probably not already said this, but I mean, it was a dominated performance, and I was shocked by the performance overall because I thought Tio would. I just didn't think Tio would fight the fight that he fought, and it seemed like he had no game plan. At the end of the day, Shakur, and we've heard this from a lot of the guys. Man, there's levels to boxing, right? So when we look at some of these guys, we look at them as upper echelon guys, but they're fighting C-level fighters, C+ fighters, B- fighters. They may be B+ fighters and can put hands on them. May struggle a little bit here and there, but when you get in there with a real A-class level fighter, man, the skill gap shows, and it was shocking to me to see how much of a skill gap there was. I picked Shakur to win, but I was like, man, it's gonna be probably an 8-4 fight. You know what I'm saying? Something close. He'll win on the scorecards. He'll find his rhythm some, have some success. The man had no success. I done heard folks talk about 11-1 and all that other kind of stuff. I didn't see none of it. That one round that folks that y'all want to give him, hey, all right. Only reason you could give it to him because Shakur said, man, let me gather myself in these middle rounds right here so I can go and finish this thing and look good in the later rounds. That's the only reason I think you possibly could have gave that man a round. So I was shocked by the domination of Shakur. At the end of the day, though, I don't think that's an indictment on Tio. I think Tio still, and we always have this conversation about trainers and things like this. I think he can still come back. I think he can still be a heck of a guy. You know what I'm saying? I still look him like I said from the beginning, I look at him as a B+ level fighter, but at the same time, I think he can come back from this. And if he gets somebody else in his corner, no disrespect to his father, because his father got him to where he at right now. But you need a different voice out there. And maybe you just need somebody parroting and have his father parroting instructions, like I said about Devin. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong about it, but at the end of the day, man, I just didn't see it happening. To get beat with one punch, the jab, we all know the jab is the best punch in boxing, but to get beat with one punch, I didn't see it happening that way. And maybe I don't know shit about boxing, so I mean, it is what it is. But man, shout out to Shakur, and man, let's not, in my personal opinion, Shakur got Tio got what he deserved with the racist comments and all that, but I'm not gonna hold that against him. We all make mistakes in life. I want to see the brother come back and hopefully he look better. You know what I'm saying, at 147, since he said he moving to 147.
Okay, I agree. Let's touch up on two things you said here too. Let's talk about that. The racist comments, right? Like, hopefully he learned his lesson with it, and he should be held against anything he says, because listen, when you're in the limelight, you need to watch yourself, because you got younger fighters looking up to you, you got young kids looking up to you, and you're in the camera and people are watching you. You need to watch what you say, whether you're serious or whether you're joking. So you got to be held accountable for the shit you say. You know what I'm saying? And like many people in the chats and many people that watch, I'm the same. I'm not with that. I didn't appreciate those comments, because he kept playing that race game over and over again, even when people were checking him and trying to tell him, listen, like, enough is enough. It's one thing to joke, but he kept going in, and he got into multiple races. He got it at the black fan base and the black people. He got it at some Latino groups as well. Like, he was playing a race game. Listen, he even got at Shakur and told him, "You're not Puerto Rican." Like, he plays these games, and he's got to stop that. That's one, and I'll let everybody cook. And the second thing you brought up, and we didn't mention, and I'm glad you brought it up, is the coaching and the trainer. And I agree with you. Like, yeah, his father got him to this point, made him a world champion, everything. But sometimes, in my opinion, you peak, and you can't get anything more out of a guy, and it's good to get another ear. And I think maybe another ear might be good for Tio, and somebody that's going to do him, what's the word? It's going to keep him in high regards, but also, there's a word I'm looking for, going to look for his best interests. Right, not that his father wasn't looking for his best interest, but a neutral trainer, somebody that he hires to work with him, will focus on him and have his best interests, and try to make him better and see what he can do, with his athleticism, into the boxing game and what adjustments he needs to make going forward, and as far as like, moving up to 147, putting on the pounds, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody like that. And I don't think his father would be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he could be a hype man, right? Because he goes in there and, he talks a lot and he screams and he yells and says the dumbest of things. Maybe that hypes T.O. up. Who knows? But as far as like getting instructions in the corner and working on fundamentals, I just don't think he's it. So that's what I feel about that when it comes to T.O.'s father as his trainer.
And the thing is, I'm not saying that senior shouldn't be there. I'm not saying that, because I think same way I said with Devin, even with Brian Norman Sr., when he said, "Man, what I look like being the second chef in the kitchen." No, bro, no, that you worried about yourself now. I think it got to be about the fighter. And at the end of the day, I think that all these fathers, because they done been around their sons so long, got them to this level. Hey, you may not have the best boxing instruction, but you know what motivates your son, right? So if you can get and during a round, you have somebody. I said Robert Garcia. I would love to see T over with Robert Garcia. I would love that. And to have a Robert Garcia, not necessarily being the main individual giving instruction, being the main trainer throughout the camp, of course. But then when it comes to instruction, instead of saying, "You're going to hate yourself for this, where's your power at?" Instead of saying any of that, let Robert Garcia say, during the round, we need to do this. If we make this adjustment, man, this is what you need to go tell him. You know what I'm saying? Like, give T.O. Sr. something to go tell T.O. to make those type of adjustments. And actually, I think that would be very effective, because in that fight, man, I'm just being honest, I seen Shakur early in that fight. He kind of figured out, he was like, "Bro, I got him. So once somebody think they got you in the second round, I need 2 or 3. I got to make some adjustments. So something is different. The man didn't fight behind his jab. He tried to look sometimes, but you got to double, triple that jab up the distance for you even to be effective. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that there has to be some level there of boxing understanding given to his father, that he can parrot the instructions, because he does have TOE. I just don't know if they'll do that.
No, I agree. I mean, I think you make excellent points in regards to that. But where people are quick to judge, these father and son, combos. You know what I'm saying? Like, when a fighter loses, we're quick to say, you got to get rid of your trainer, get rid of your father, and get somebody else in there. But I think in this particular case, I mean, we witnessed, a lot of confusion in that corner. Listen, Dub. And I don't know if you've heard me speak before about this, but I was at the fight, right? So what you guys saw on TV, I did not see, but I could tell you what I saw at the fight live, and I didn't like the way that they were popping in, the way they were coming in the corner. They were reacting late, like even getting the stool, like in between rounds was late, like so they were slow. It's like they gave up before the fight was even over. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when you see the highlights of his father telling him, like, "Where did your power go, bro? Like, what's wrong with you, bro?" So I think it's a good discussion to bring up and bring these points. It's like, hey, maybe it's time you look into a real legit trainer and maybe put your father as like the second in charge or the second guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who this guy is. FaZe. I would have to see. You're gonna have to show your face or something. I don't know who that is. Okay, I got you. I'll bring you up. I think Sock is coming up too. I'm gonna bring you up now. You can turn it off. Salute, FaZe. What's going on, bro? Welcome to the channel. If you got, you want to cook us something.
Nah. Thank y'all for having me on the channel. This is my first time coming on the channel, man. Shout out to you, Bronx. I know my boy Dub. I talked to him a couple times.
What up, FaZe?
What's up,
Okay,
man? I'm trying to figure out what's this comparison to Shakur Javante. Like, I've been seeing a lot of people with this headline. What happened? Was it like a contract or what? Like, can somebody sum it up for me real quick? I know I'm late, but I see something happen. What was that?
Some nonsense.
I didn't see anything. I don't know what you're referring to. I didn't see anything.
I think they saying I don't know, something about some fight deal that Shakur had, or Something
Oh
about
no,
Tank and
that
Shakur the
was
same.
what happened was the CEO of the Zone came out and said that Shakur actually signed a 5-fight deal. He didn't sign a 2-fight deal or a 3-fight deal. He signed a 5-fight deal. So that's what the people have been talking about. It was an interview that came out, I think, either yesterday or the day before, and the owner CEO of the Zone came out I'm sorry, of Matchroom came out and said that Shakur signed a 5-fight deal.
Yeah, I don't know why they were saying it makes Shakur like some kind of duck or something. Like I didn't understand how they was trying to compare those two guys.
Now, I will tell you, and I'm a Shakur fan. I love him, and I don't really want to get into this conversation because we didn't talk about this too much. In my personal opinion, as far as boxing goes, we should be focused more on these fights and who we want to see him fight next. At the end of the day, Shakur, I think he has ducked some fights. You know what I'm saying? I think, hey, what they all tell you, any fighter will tell you, hey, if it make money, it makes sense, right? As long as it makes sense, then we can do it. And when he got that 25% from Devin, you know what I'm saying? In his mind, the money didn't make sense, even though it was for Undisputed. I think that would have wrote his check. I think he'd be a tad bit higher star if he would have gone in and beat a Devin for Undisputed right there. But he didn't. That's okay. You feel me? I ain't got no problem. My thing is I want to see these guys mix it up when they at their best. And so, I don't know. It's an interesting conversation to have to some degree. But at the end of the day, bro, like Shakur was never. He ain't never been the guy calling shots. And if he wasn't the guy calling the shots against the big guys, I can't compare him to Tank because Tank been calling shots. I can't make that comparison.
I think it becomes very selective depending on who you like and who you don't like, right? So I mean, I try to be neutral to everybody because I like everybody, right? I like Tank, I like Shakur, I like Devin because I like the sport of boxing. Right. I think it was selective. I think what happened from what I've heard with that situation, because I think there was an offer for Shakur, but I think it was a 1-fight deal to fight Tank. It was something like that. And I think Shakur was looking for a multi-year deal or something like that, a multi-fight deal, something like that. So, and I guess talks ended or whatever the case may be. In that situation, I mean, we don't know the particulars, but I wouldn't be mad at Shakur at that. I mean, if you want that,
no, I think it really comes down to the simple fact that Shakur was saying that he wanted to fight he wanted to fight Tank Davis, and then you see the interview that he had with, I think it was the Breakfast Club or somebody, where he said he was asking for the Tio fight even before he fought Williams Zapata. He said that was the fight that he told Eddie Hearn he wanted. And so people say, okay, well, you saying in the public that you wanted to fight Tank Davis, but behind the scenes, you was trying to fight Tio. You said you told Eddie Hearn not to make the Tank Davis fight or don't get involved in the Tank Davis fight, and you only quote unquote was supposedly have signed a 2-fight deal with Eddie Hearn or a 3-fight deal with Eddie Hearn, when it turns out that you actually signed a 5-fight deal and you was talking about getting fights with other people instead of Tank Davis. So that's what they're trying to draw the conclusion.
Yes.
Did he really want to fight with Tank, or was he just blowing smoke?
Man, I don't even know why we still talking about Tank right now. Man. Let that man let him handle his legal situation. When the man get back in the ring,
I saw that little court case that his arraignment, his bond hearing or whatever. I don't know if that girl got a case. I don't know if she got a case, but we're gonna see how it play out.
I ain't really worried, and I hope she. I don't wish no harm on that man. You know, I don't wish no harm on. My thing is, let that man get that done. Tank is irrelevant at this current moment in time as far as boxing goes. He's irrelevant, respectfully. And mind you, with the WBC stripping Shakur, it's no incentive for them to fight. Outside of the money, which I still want to see the fight. I want to let put me on record. TD, put me on record. I still want to see it, but it's so much going on with that whole situation. And boxing is so much bigger than one fighter. So let's keep it on what can actually happen at this current moment in time until we know where the man gonna end up at.
Then though that Shakur got stripped and Tank Davis is a champion in recess. What did I tell you? What I'm always saying: if they make the fight, don't nobody care about no belts. They want to see the fight.
Yeah, that's true. The belts help make the fight because it puts you in position, to move up and fight top guys and such and this and this and that. The only other fight I would want to see Shakur in that I believe he could have fought a couple years ago and didn't is O'Shaquie Foster, because I believe O'Shaquie Foster has been kind of chasing Shakur for a while now. He's still
calling that man to be one.
And I'm not saying that O'Shaquie beats. I'm not saying he beats Shakur, because I like O'Shaquie Foster. I think he's nice. I'm not saying he beats Shakur, but that's a fight I would love to see. I would love to see the matchup.
Yeah, I don't think O'Shaquie beats Shakur.
903 wants to see that as well.
Yeah, I don't think he beat Shakur neither, but that's still a good fight. I know it would be a better fight than the Tio fight.
Oh, it'd be a way better fight than a Tio fight. And let me tell you something. O'Shaquie can box, and he's got pop too. Like O'Shaquie got punching power. So but yeah, that'll be the only other one. But I think for me, it's all about like celebrating what they just did, and let give them time to make their next move. The only one I'm really critical about as far as mouthing off after the fight is Keyshawn, because he had a freaking great performance, and he should have never called out Devin after the fight, because if you're not really going to fight him, why even mention it? I would have just been like, I would have just took the easy way out or the easy road and said, look, I'm looking to fight the best guys at 140 or the best guys at 147. Let me see what me and my team come up with, and we'll go from there. Something like that answer would have been much better. But for the way he said Devin Haney, it was just like, yeah, he's all for it. And now it's like, so I don't like that. I don't like when fighters do that.
I appreciate
well, I will say, right before they had that whole melee at that Madison Square Garden, him and Bill Haney had a talk, and Bill Haney said, "You just hold up your end of the body. You go out there and handle your business, and we'll talk after the fight." So it's not like he not trying to, because he walked up on Bill and was like, "Hey, I want that fight," and Bill, you do your part, and then we'll talk afterwards.
Yeah, they showed that, but I don't know. We'll see. Go ahead. I don't know, K-Rod, you want to cook on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think overall, I just think at this point, this particular era that we're in right now should be like the golden era for boxing. And if a lot of these fighters are just trying to duck fights and just clout chase off of other fighters that are trying to put in that work, I think it should just be called out, and nobody shouldn't have to really be standing up for it. I mean, nobody doesn't want to be living in a, worldview where, their favorite fighter is not fighting up against the best, competition. And I think, primarily, for Shakur and Keyshawn Davis's case, they should not, ultimately be doing that, because it's like, they're in their primes and their legacies will be tarnished if they continue to go down that, if they continue to go down that particular path. So
you talking about you talking about the whole brother thing?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we was on the same. Go ahead. My apologies.
Yeah. Like I just wanted to just state that out, because it's like, if fighters continue to do that, then that's going to water down competition for big fights that people do want to see, because, that particular influence coming from a Shakur or Keyshawn Davis is going to give the next branch of fighters, heading into the future to say, oh, well, I'm not going to fight him, or I'm not going to fight her because, we're friends, or, we've known each other for blah, blah, blah. So I just think at this point, that should be, disbanded away from the sport. And, boxing fans that are hardcore should be more stricter for that.
So you can't ban it because boxing is the wild, wild west. But I know coming up, anytime I had a chance, individuals that I grew up with playing basketball with, man, I can't wait to be on the court with you, because I'm trying to kill. Matter of fact, your mama and my mama, we friends. We play on the same AAU team. right? We play for different schools, but we play on the same AAU team.
Yeah.
So after that, after the game, we all gonna go out to eat. It is what it is. But while we on that court, bro, I'm on your helmet, bro. I'm on your helmet. I'm trying to win. And I just feel like, hey, I know boxing is the hurt game, but Mike Tyson said it the best. If you love me and you my brother, then you gonna make some money with me. That's all I'm saying. And I think that right now, Keyshawn and Shakur, it's a big fight at this current moment in time. I think it's a big fight. And if they continue to do what they're doing right now, it's gonna be even bigger in the future. So at some point in time, hey man, if you love me and you truly my brother, let's make some money together.
Yeah, I agree with that. Listen, 147. I've been kind of criticizing 147 for a while, as far as like being one of the weakest divisions in the sport right now. Because 147 used to be one of the elite divisions. You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect. People thought I was saying that because I was trying to disrespect Dev, but I was saying it before Dev even fought or even was announced to fight Brian Norman. I've been said that. But when you look at 135 and 140 and see the talent that we have in both those divisions, like it's ridiculous. Because like it's just, you got top guys. I don't think we've seen this in a very long time. I mean, 140 is the new 147, right? Because back in the day, 147 was popping. I mean, you're talking about when Floyd, Pacquiao, Cotto, Centron, Margarito, Mosley. Like, I mean, the list goes on and on. 140. I mean, you got all four champions right now. 140 are good, right? And then even those top contenders right now are good too. Like, it's ridiculous. Keyshawn's one of those guys. He's not even a champion at 140. He's definitely in the running there too. So that's 5. You know what I'm saying? The winner of Gary Russell and Hiroka. You know what I'm saying? 140 is popping right now. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, there are fights to be made, and I think as fans, all you want to see is one of those guys fight each other. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see Hitchens fighting guys like Duarte over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So
TD, the thing is one thing we have, and one of the reasons I said, and we've been talking about 40 for a minute now, right? Shout out to Batman, rest in peace to Batman. I remember 3 years ago talking about the 40-pound division with him. So the great thing about 40 is it's a feeder division to 47. And yes. So when we talk about the 47-pound division kind of falling off, well, the great part about it is a lot of those guys at 40 are gonna now they have to start moving up now at this point because they're getting older, they putting on weight. You know what I'm saying? They filling into their body more and more and more. So now they got to start moving up. Devin have moved up. Junior, if y'all remember, Brian Norman Jr. started at what, 40? You know what I'm saying? Tiger Johnson, another one of them guys, like
140.
No, Tiger Johnson fighting at 47 now. He ain't fighting at 40.
Yeah, he started at 140. That's what you're saying.
Agree. So because it's such a feeder division, I love, man, I want to see him get the smoke now. I ain't gonna lie to you, but at the same time, I love that a lot of these guys come in. I don't know if y'all remember what Brandon Lee. A lot of people don't like Brandon Lee. I'm a
Brandon
fan.
Lee is like so out of touch.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But at the same time, we need to be seeing Brandon Lee need to be campaigning at 47 at this current moment in time. Maybe you can get an opportunity because he ain't had no opportunities out here. And he after rest in peace to the great what's no black fighter name, man? I can't remember his name now. He passed away. He was Brandon Lee Boots. He was all their manager at the time. Used to work for Top Rank. I can't call his name. I call his name.
Cameron.
Cameron Duncan.
Yeah.
And
Cameron Duncan.
Hey, man, look, y'all go ahead and move to 47, and then y'all mix it up there because I remember when we came up, these were the glamour division. This is where you made your name, man. If you got something at 40, 40 wasn't deep back in the day, right? People weren't really campaigning at 40. 40 was a quick stop for you, and then you kind of moved up. I think Bud was the first person to make 40 when he unified the division, became undisputed at 40. I think he was the first person to kind of put 40 back into action, if that makes sense. But a lot of times you would see guys, look what Adrian Broner did. Adrian Broner went from 35, skipped 40 to 47, went back down to 4. He did all of that, right? But the reason he did it is because 47, that's the glamour division.
Yeah.
Free talk about it, and Free, he know more boxing than I probably ever know. But he speaks on the glamour divisions on a regular basis. So I think that with right now, the guys at 40, I ain't gonna say all, not all, but a lot of those guys can go ahead and move to 47 and then start to compete with each other at 47 in that glamour division and revitalize that division. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with 54 and 60. 60 is kind of weak right now, but a lot of those guys, they can move up now and start campaigning at 60 and rebuild the middleweight division. So I think that there is some what's the word I want to use? It's something good to see as far as them fighting at those kind of mid divisions, those in between divisions, but we still value those quote unquote glamour divisions. So at 54 now, if Xander were to move up, if Boots were to move up, if hell, when you 6'7" fighting at 54, man, go on and fight at 60, man. Go on and fight at 60. You feel me? So I think these divisions are going to get revitalized simply because of the feeder system of these kind of in between weight classes that we have, the super / junior weight classes that we have.
No, yeah, I agree, and I'm gonna just add to that because what I was trying to say as far as like the 147 division, when you look at the names, besides the champions are some of the guys from 140 that just became champions. They didn't even really beat anybody. Like Rolly pretty much they gave him a vacant title. You know, Barrios is a champion. He moved up to 140. But when you look at the guys that are not champions at 147 right now, with the exception of Brian Norman Jr., who was a champion, you know, you got guys that are not really. They're still trying to make a name for themselves.
It's weak.
It's weak as far as the names, right? Like Tiger Johnson is probably a decent name because he's an Olympian, right? But it's weak. Brandon Lee was a good one, but Brandon Lee has been kind of back and forth inactive. His last fight, I was at his last fight in New Jersey. He fought, I believe, an 8-rounder. And supposedly he's like back and forth and going to school and stuff like that. So he's been inactive. He's 26 years old. He's been boxing almost 10 years, 30 fights, and really hasn't really moved up in the rankings. And I like Brandon Lee, but when is he going to fight somebody? But when you take a look at these guys, these names right there at 147, none of them big name. Avius Griffin is number 10. Remember, they were building him up. He's like 31 years old. He got knocked out by Julian Rodriguez, right, on the MVP card. You know, Jose Carlos Ramirez, a 140 guy, he's pretty much on his way out. You know, Blair Cobbs, when is he going to fight? You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia is getting an opportunity that I don't think he deserves, but he's in the title picture. Here's another guy from Long Island, Rashad Mati. You know, he's not as active as I would like him to be. He's decent. Then you got the prospect Tamir Smalls, who I believe got a gift win versus my guy Roman. He's gonna fight Abel Ramos next. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you look at the 140 guys, all those guys we mentioned earlier, those 5-6 guys, they got bigger names than any of the guys I just mentioned. Right?
Agreed.
So that's the problem when it comes to that. But
the reason it happened, the reason it happened that way is because, like you brought up before, 54 and well, I think you said 35 and 40. I would disagree with 35 respectfully, but I would say 54 and 40. They've been hot divisions for a minute now. So
35 is dead.
Say it again.
35 ain't got none. Tink and Shakur's out of there.
But that's fine. All I'm saying, and we can talk about that. But what I'm saying is, with 40 and 54, I think they feed directly into those quote unquote glamour divisions, and with them both being hot for what at this current moment in time, 3 years, it seemed like. I know Lou was talking respectfully. He was talking about this 3 years as far as them being the two hottest divisions. I think it's time where those guys move up to those glamour divisions, and they have a better chance of making a name at 47 than you do at 40. A better chance of making a name at 60 than you do at 54. So I think it's time for these guys to start moving up and stop cutting so much weight and fight closer to your weight class. and I'm not trying to say that they not. Well, I am saying that. I'm directly saying that.
I mean, keep game though. Look how long it took people to move up to 47. They waited till Boots move up, and now all of a sudden everybody's at 47. And really, it's not everybody that's there, but they've been ducking at Boots smoke. They waited till Boots move. Now we see a Rolly, a Asta Ryan, a Devin in them at 47, and 47 still need more people besides them type of names in.
But I don't think guys at 40 was ducking Boots. I don't think they were ducking Boots.
It was.
In your opinion, that's your opinion, which is fine.
Why
that's
did
cool.
they wait? Devin Haney's not in that conversation because if he didn't get cheated, he probably would have still been at 40, right? So remove him. The other guys could have. Rolly even said it himself. He been supposed to be at 47. How come soon as Boots moved up, now we seeing him moving up to 47? It don't make no sense.
So you think them the lack of them moving up is them ducking Boots?
Yeah, because they know they gotta see him.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
They're not trying to be the best.
I don't know about that.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. I think 147.
It's not about who's better. It's not about who's better. What I'm trying to tell you. Hold on, man. Hold on. I'm answering your question. I'm not saying that. You could be right. Maybe they don't want to fight Boots. I have no problem with you saying it. What I'm saying is, I don't think they ducking them when they not in his weight class already. And Boots could have became undisputed. He chose to move up. He was the one who chose to move up.
Barrios did not want that smoke.
Well, put it on Barrios then. Don't put it on these guys that was at a lower weight class.
Bro,
don't put it on them guys. Put it on the champions that was at.
Look how 40 right now.
Oh man, don't cut. All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Look how 40 right now is like literally the second best division after 54. Why is it not unifying?
Because everybody don't want to fight each other.
Okay, so if it was a shitty division, they would have been calling people out, oh, let's unify. But when a division is hot, it's a bunch of 50-50 fights. They don't want to see each other, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's the way boxing has been. That's what's been killing the sport.
Yeah, because
you know what I'm saying? I think 147, to be fair, never falls. I think 147, even when Boots was there, was kind of weak too. There was really nobody else.
It's still weak now.
It's still weak now, in my opinion. But I'm saying it's been like that even before Devin Haney moved up, and even before Boots moved up to 154. I think the division has been kind of weak.
But also,
but the reason that division was weak is because we watched Errol Spence and we watched Bud. They kind of cleaned between those two. They cleaned the division out because they fought those guys and then they fought each other. EJ got his ass whooped respectfully, and shout out to EJ because I'm a fan, and I'm a fan of both of them. But at the same time, it wasn't a weak division until. Once they made that fight, then it became a weak division. So that's why I'm talking about the feeder system as far as 40 go, because now you have the Devins there. You got the Ryans, even though y'all don't want my opinion on Ryan. I'll tell you if you want it, but I don't want to give it because I don't think he's worth a damn, respectfully. I think he knocked Barrios out. I think he's gonna stop Barrios. But at the same time, I don't think a lot about Mario. Go ahead.
He on that juice.
Well, that's another question. But listen, because we got one more fight to talk about, and then we could come back to this. And somebody in the chat made a good comment, and we didn't even get to this fight yet. So Xander versus Devin, that has been spoken about, but we haven't got a chance to talk about Xander's performance. We talked about every title fight last Saturday except Xander and Baru, whichever way you want to pronounce it. D Free's been waiting to cook on this. I'm gonna start with D Free. What do you thought of Xander's performance this past Saturday, unifying the 154 belts, now a WBA super welterweight champion?
And we call him the score people. We call him the historian because he all of that. Shout out to my brother Free. I apologize. Free, go ahead. The historian and the score.
Xander Zayas, he put on a heck of a performance. Xander Zayas, he showed good footwork. He showed boxing ability. He showed inside fighting. I think towards the end of the fight, he started moving around a little bit more than he should have. But it was because he was pretty much coasting to a win. Because I scored the fight, and I had Xander Zayas winning that fight 8 rounds to 4. Um, he pretty much beat Abbas easy. Abbas just kept trying to come forward and land big shots, and Xander Zayas kept that jab in his face and kept having him to have to reset. Couldn't get his feet set to throw the big shot at times. So I think Xander Zayas put on his best performance, and rightfully so, was for a unification fight. So I mean, I want to see what Xander Zayas do next. Um, he's still growing. He's still learning. He's only 23 years old. He's the youngest unified champion in the sport right now, and he still got a lot to learn and a lot to give to the boxing industry.
Okay. My man Crunch Time, salute to you in the chat. He says Xander KO's Devin. We're gonna get to that because they are talking about that, and I agree with you. I was just on a panel before this live, and I was saying the same thing, but I'm gonna let everybody cook on Xander and the Barral fight. I'm gonna go over to K Rod. I know K Rod's seen the fight. What do you thought of Xander's performance?
Oh man. Yeah, I have to say Xander has came a long way, and I'm happy that he's worked his way up to be number one, man. I thought initially this fight was going to probably be a tough fight for him, but I knew Abbas was going to give Xander probably a good, tough early game, but I thought Xander was going to close him out late. And Xander, he just went, guns blazing. He just had great defense. The jab was beautiful. The footwork was really good. And Xander, he just had great, momentum pressure. And I think, that's everything that you would like to see out of like a good, out of a pure, complete fighter. And I think Xander, he just did everything that he needed to do. I think where it stands right now, he's just like Xander's style is a good boxer, semi-puncher. He's very technical. He has good, sneaky power that can trap you. And I think, he showed that out up against Abbas. So, I'm happy that Xander did this because this shows his actual true development of like where he put himself in good, formidable tests. And I think this is just like the first step to see how far his skill level will go. And I think, Xander, he's shining very, very well up against, formidable competition. So I'm very proud that Xander passed this test up against Abbas, and Xander deserves to be number one at 154.
The most beautiful thing you said in that breakdown, and I think all of it was beautiful, but the footwork that Xander showed in his last two fights, people criticize him for it. I watched that man show power early in his career, right? He didn't, and what is he, 22, 23, something like that?
Yeah, 23.
20.
So
he just turned 22, but go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
How old is he?
I thought he's 22.
I don't want to. Hey,
He's 23. He just turned 23 September 5th.
Okay. All I'm saying is we watched him put in work early in his career. We watched him kind of, show power, show that he can crack. And now in the last two fights, he showed a different wrinkle in his game. He showed that, bro, I can crack, but I still got good footwork out here, right? And at 23 years of age, when I and being a unified champion, when I understand I have footwork and I can land with power, you know what I'm saying, when need to, and I ain't gonna say his power gonna land, hey, when you get up in levels of competition, your power, it don't translate all the same. You ain't gonna knock everybody out. But to show the different levels that he's shown, man, it looks special to me. That's what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. I think Xander is a hell of a fighter, and I love he done got in some fights where I probably can't knock this guy out, but I can outbox him. You understand? And so when you get into those type of things at such a young age, and if he can combine them, man, imagine Xander stepping, but then understanding, all right, I can clip you, but at the same time, I'm gonna stay out of rank, man. I think it's beautiful, and man, I can't wait to see what Xander look like moving forward because the knowledge that he's gained, the different ways that the different styles that he's shown he can fight in. You know what I'm saying? If you want to box, I can box with you. You know what I'm saying? If you want to fight, I can fight with you. But I'm not gonna do it on your terms. I'm gonna do it on my terms. Man, I love what Xander is showing right now. I heard people say that Abbas was that was a terrible. I heard all type of things. Most folks don't know shit about boxing, so I don't know what they're talking about. But what I watched, man, I thought he put on a hell of a performance. And I give the brother nothing but credit. Can't wait to see the next fights. And we're gonna break down if he get in a fight with Devin. We're gonna break that down, TD.
Yeah, we can talk about it. I'm gonna go real quick.
Not right now.
I know FaZe wants to go. I want to let FaZe go next. I'm gonna just speak real quick, and then I know the hater because he never folds. That's my guy, but he's a Xander hater.
The truth, because when I talk,
we're gonna let you go. I'm gonna save you right before we get to teach.
You know how I'm coming to you.
I know how you coming. That's why I'm gonna go because I know you got a little bit of hater rate because I saw you in the chat earlier this morning. But
he just got to show better, you know.
What I'm gonna say real quick before FaZe goes is that the thing I like about Xander is before I and I'll talk about it later when it gets to my turn again. Before I get to his performance last week, is that Xander really wants to fight the top guys. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but he didn't have to fight Abbas Barral, right? Now, Abbas Barral just beat Tellez, right? And Tellez, they were trying to build up as something great. I heard a lot of people say Tellez was going to beat Xander. Like they were building up and he was gonna
Tellez can fight now.
He can fight, yeah. But Abbas ruined that and he beat him, therefore earning him the title fight. What a lot of people don't know is that yes, they were going to give Xander a layup as a homecoming in Puerto Rico, and they were going to give him Santillan. They were going to give him Santillan, of which I think Xander would have annihilated.
And Santillan fought on the undercard, didn't he? Didn't he fight on the undercard?
He fought on the undercard.
Go ahead,
Jaffe. But Xander turned down that fight. He said, "No, I want to fight a champion or give me one of the top guys." And that's why they made the fight with Abbas Barral. And I respect that. And that's what I want to see with young fighters that are champions. They want to fight the top guys. He could have easily took the easy layup homecoming fight against Santillan and didn't. And I know Never Folds is going to get up here later and say that he's cherry picking, but he could have easily cherry picked and got Santillan, and he said no. So with that being said, I'm going to move over to FaZe. And then Never Fold, you can go on and give the free smoke hate that you want to give. All right, go ahead, FaZe.
No, I look at Xander Zayas as a big 154 who is a slick boxer. His feet is pretty good. I would say he tries to master his opponents. Like he doesn't just go out there and fight crazy. You know what I mean? Like I think he takes his time and tries to adjust to his opponent's rhythm, and then you know counter and make things happen. I think it would be a good fight if he ended up if Devin and Debo Dream Haney went up there and wanted to fight with him. I don't know if Devin could just do what he does to everybody because of boss Xander Zayas' height and kind of slickness, and he's gonna be stepping towards him. He might have to take it to the inside, which we've seen Devin do that. Devin is a versatile fighter, but I think that'll be a 50-50 fight, 100%.
All right, that's cool.
Okay,
I ain't got no problem. You got to go ahead,
sports. Go ahead. And Tony, you can come up if you want. That's all good. It's up to you. We'll be up for a little bit.
Free smoke, man. Nobody's safe but God. Hey, but I ain't saying Xander is not good, right? Because for me, I had Xander above Bakram, like far as like the chimps, right? It's just that you guys, specifically Puerto Rican fans, hyping up Xander like he's a Tito, he's a what you call it? Cotto, and the rest of them. He hasn't faced a top 5 opponent yet. So he got to go out there and show that he can beat those guys before a guy like me coming out the cut and trying to say he this and he that. You know what I'm saying? Look.
So let me pause you real quick. So you just said I'm not one of those Puerto Ricans because I could be biased and I like
I'm
the
not
Puerto
like that
Rican
either.
fighters, but I'm not like that because I will never compare him to Tito and never compare him to Cotto or the top guys that he's got a lot of work to be done. But you said he hasn't beat a top 5 fighter. You like Boots. What top 5 fighter did Boots beat? And then you could go ahead.
Hold up. I am one of those Puerto Ricans. So
Let him answer that. Let him answer that
let's be
question.
honest. Virgil sent Xander Zayas a offer, told him he had an hour to sign. He signed it in 10 minutes. Virgil decided to go and fight Magnumov. Sebastian Fedor dropped his belt. Xander Zayas was his mandatory. He dropped his belt. So he can't fight a top 5 fighter if they not getting in the ring with him. That's not his fault. He only can fight who is willing to get in the ring with him.
Okay, so now the excuses is over with now, right? Let's see who we fight next. Because from what I'm hearing, they saying Josh Kelly. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, if he fights Josh Kelly, so be it. Josh Kelly has a belt. He's trying to be undisputed. He's trying to be undisputed. Josh Kelly has a belt. Somebody got to fight him and take the belt.
Also, what the thing is like, you know, if Xander goes ahead and fights Josh Kelly, why not have Boots go after basically Fundora and
that ain't happening. TVC.
Yeah. Like I know that. It's just like I'm just trying to like play it out, you know, like in my mind to say like, you know, if we know Boots is gonna be right there to be a tough fight for either Xander or anybody else at 154. If I'm working with Boots, I would tell Boots, yo, go straight after Fundora versus Keith Thurman winner. You can go fight Virgil because if him and Virgil get it on very soon, that can now set up for the path for undisputed, where Xander will be right there. So
but
it's like
let me say this: if Xander don't fight Josh Kelly, you know who will be fighting Josh Kelly?
Boots.
It's gonna, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, Boots.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why Josh Kelly. Yeah, like he's a target, you know, for Jaron Ennis because he's right there in like you know in house, you know at
I can't put it on Xander Zayas because Virgil decided to go fight Magnumov instead of fighting him. I can't put it on Xander Zayas because Sebastian Fedor decided to fight Keith Thurman instead of fighting Xander Zayas. I can't put it on
Who
Xander.
is Xander Zayas signed to?
Who is
he's
he
also
on?
at the top rank.
Oh, he's
He's
signed
on
top
top
rank. Okay.
Yes. But he was a mandatory to Sebastian Fedor. He dropped his belt to fight Keith Thurman.
So D, you can't be using that no more, bro. He's unified now. So let's see what he do next, bro.
I mean, we can see what he do next. But what I will say is, ain't nobody else unified. Virgil ain't even trying to get in the ring with Boots.
Ooh, he's unified against cherry picks, bro. He ain't fought nobody yet. Know what I'm saying?
Who has Virgil? Okay, you say he hasn't fought anybody yet. Who has Virgil fought?
Nobody. We know that.
Okay, they got Virgil as number 1.
That's on their list, not on my list. You know what I'm saying? So,
no, but I'm just saying. You saying he hasn't fought anybody, but this man is a unified champion at 23 years old. He started fighting in 2019.
Yeah, he came
Virgil hasn't even fought for a title yet.
Virgil ducking smoke like he been doing at 47, 54, doing the same shit.
So we can't be hard on a guy that is a unified champion at 23 years old.
Yeah, but it's like
he's not getting the opportunity to fight the top guys. He fought a guy for a title.
It's like this though. He fought a sparring partner for unification.
Man, hold on, never fold. Can I ask you a question? Never fold. I want to ask you one question.
Go ahead.
Just straight up, who has Xander ducked? Who has he ducked? In your opinion?
Nobody.
Hold on. No, it ain't on you, Free. Hold on. I want him to answer the question. Go ahead. Who has Xander ducked?
I mean, the fights was being talked about. It's like I can't really blame either side because it's like on Fundura's side, he was supposed to fight Bud, but he wanted to go to Spence side. Know what I'm saying? So he messed up on that. And then on the Virgil Ortiz side, his people saying something, and then Oscar doing something else. So it's like, yo, I have to know more like about the both sides for me to really violate somebody. On that side, I can't really say.
So with the information that you have, who has Xander ducked?
I just explained to you. I can't really blame nobody for them not fighting.
So just say the man ain't ducked nobody. Just say he ain't ducked nobody. Just say he
He
didn't.
didn't
Just say he didn't duck nobody.
Xander,
It's easy.
easy.
You said you can't blame nobody for the fight that they took. We're not asking about them. We're not asking. He didn't ask you about them. He asked you about Xander. Who did Xander duck?
Bro, it's three sides, and we never know the whole story. Until I know the whole story, I'm not gonna come out.
Man, you out of order, man. You out of order, and we gonna call you out of order. And the reason we gonna call you out of order because if you can't sit here and give concrete evidence that this man done ducked somebody, then just say he ain't ducked nobody. Just say that.
You have no facts.
It's that boot stuff.
That's what I'm gonna get.
I don't have to have. Hold on, wait a minute. I don't have to have facts that he ducked somebody. The facts that I have. Hold on. The fact that I have show me. Hold on, man. You out of order. You out of order, man. The facts that I have show me that he ain't ducked nobody. So I'm asking you, when you talking about him ducking, who has he ducked? Who?
When have you heard me say he ducked?
Who has he avoided? Who?
Nothing like that. You not putting words on.
So he in order. So he all the way in order right now. He in order, right?
Go ahead. Never folds. Respond.
Never fold. He in order.
Yeah. In order with what?
I mean, as far as fighting, he ain't ducked nobody. He in order.
Them. He's not fighting nobody
See,
there.
you're not answering the question.
Who's Baru? He's
a champion. A champion. Hold on. Let me answer your question. I'm gonna answer your question directly. Who is Baru? A champion? That's who he is.
All right, so let's go by. Let's because I like to be fair. Yo, but never folds. We got to be fair, bro. I don't think you're being fair because then who is? Because I'm going to go to the fighter that you mentioned. And who is Stanionis?
He was a nobody.
Hey, Boacek just beat Stanley on his best win this past weekend, bro. He just beat his best win in Butayev. Butayev is Stanley on his best win. That's his best win.
And then look, when Turkey wanted to put the money up for Virgil and Boots, who ducked too? Like Turkey put the money up. Why Boots didn't go straight to 54 and fight Virgil? Why he do the tune-up shit?
Even had a belt.
He didn't need to fight. You seen
No, it don't matter about belts.
And he waited. He was still at.
You don't need to fight lima beans.
Right?
Come on, bro. Keep it real. He messed up. He should have fought Virgil.
Listen,
when they signed that contract, Boots was still at 47.
Oh,
and then when Virgil went to 54, who did he fight his first? Right?
They wanted his first fight at 54. They wanted his first fight at 54 to be Virgil Ortiz. They wanted his first fight at 54 to be Virgil Ortiz, bro. Why didn't his first fight at 54 be Virgil Ortiz?
For that too, nigga. He not safe on that end. I ain't saving nobody, bro.
I want to make sure you're I just want to make sure we're consistent. Never folds because look.
Everybody knows that Boots was calling out the top fighters at 54. He went and fought.
And Virgil was one of those guys.
Yeah, so then he's got to be. But listen. What I'm trying to say is like you're criticizing Xander, and you got to criticize Boots as well. And listen, I think let me finish real quick. I'll tell you. I keep it real when it comes to fights. I think Boots will be favored to beat Xander, and I think Boots might beat Xander. I'll root for Xander. I think Xander got a good shot, but I'm not going to discredit Boots and what I think the fighter that he is. You feel me? But you're basically making statements that Xander's cherry picking, but he's trying to fight the top guys. I just gave you one reason and one thing. He could have fought Santillan. He didn't want that fight. He took on a champion in Barrow. Whether or not you think he's a worthy champion or not, he was a champion. The same way Boots ended up fighting Stanionis, right? And I think Stanionis is solid. I don't think Stanionis is a bum or a nobody. I think he's a solid opponent. But I'm just saying, you gotta watch what you're saying and in your words. You got to be fair. You know what I'm saying?
If
Also,
I
Jamel Charlo was about to be put into that mix too, to fight Abasa Barao, because he was considered to be the champion in recess. So the WBA was actually going to mandate Charlo versus Abbas. And let's just say if he had beat Abbas, him and Xander would have fought that night over in Puerto Rico or at least in the US.
So if I say Boots ain't fought nobody at 54, nobody gonna have a problem with that. But with Xander, y'all fuck with him. I say this and that, it's a problem.
No, it's the way you said it though. No, come on,
man. You out of order, man.
Said it though.
It ain't got nothing. Hold on, we ain't never criticized. No. When we criticize Boots, right? Boots had certain opportunities already placed in front of him. When he moved from 47 to 54, the man was he had 2 titles that he we call it the golden bullet around here where I'm at, that you could take that shot for those champions. He didn't do that. He went up there and fought a dude, and I say this respectfully, I ain't never heard of the man. I ain't never heard of him. So hold on, real quick, let me just finish. So if you're gonna criticize Xander, right, and Xander is literally fighting a champion in the division, he's unifying, right, and Boots is moving up fighting somebody that I don't know if anybody on this panel really know, respectfully. I don't know, y'all boxing fans like I am, so y'all know more boxing than I do. But I can't sit here and criticize that man when he fight Barras for to unify belts, and now I got more power to go and make other unifications. I can't fault him for that.
And this the thing, Doug. Not just that he had used those titles to go fight the next guy at 154. He also had a good money fight with Virgil to be his first fight at 154. So they hate when Boots fans.
And I love Boots. I love Boots. I love him.
Hold on, Dub.
Boots fans is literally they only argument is his talent. But his mentality, if he want to go to 154 and Turkey is trying to give him the money to fight that fight, now you're embarrassing Eddie Hearns, and Turkey probably's not messing with you no more because you wanted to fight Lima when the world wanted to see Virgil. Now you want to double back and act like, no, bro, the money was right there. The man was trying to pay you. If you whoop Virgil ass, now you're Turkey's guy. Turkey's going to have your ass in Royal Rumbles, and you can be Turkey's next guy. Terrence Crawford retire, whatever. But you didn't do that. And now everybody want to holler about who want to fight Boots and who don't want to fight Boots. Nobody want to hear that shit. He got to just wait now.
So
real quick, sorry. Never Folds, real quick. I'm going to let you go, but I want to make sure Teach is up here and Tony reviews. So Teach will go next, and then Tony reviews. But go ahead, Never Folds.
Hey, shout out to Teach, shout out to Tony reviews, shout out to both of them.
All right, go ahead, Never Folds.
Did we forget that Ortiz lost the Bocha?
You out of order,
man. Come on,
you out of order, man. You out of order. You out of order. You out of order. Now we going with hypothetical. You out of order, and we gonna call you out of order, man. You don't know what's going on. You don't understand the sport of boxing. Clearly, you don't understand what's going on.
Twice.
Crazy work. Go to the next
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go with the hypotheticals, y'all. Here we go. Here we go.
Johnson.
Bamboing. Lost. We talking about
stop the cap, man. You capping.
Just like
I'm gonna call you captain. I'm gonna call you captain.
Just like Tinky and Luce Roach, right? Just like how Chavez beat Pernell, right?
Now we talking about Chavez and Pereira. All right, here we go, y'all. Y'all see what they do. Y'all see what they do.
Let Teach go and then Tony go, and then we'll run it back around.
Let's do it.
Because they just got here. They haven't said anything. Teach has been up here for a minute. Go ahead, Teach.
All right. Salute to the panel. I agree. I agree with a lot of things, that Dub said about Xander. And as D Free said, like, I've been watching Xander since his debut, 2019, I guess. So I've pretty much seen almost all his fights. And I've seen the development of Xander. And up to the fight where he, fought the dude who beat Conwell to win that belt. I could see his development from since he was young, still being young since he's 23 to that point. And when he fought that dude, I mean, he looked just like a veteran to me. Like he did everything right in that ring. Like he boxed very smart, and pretty much that's what I respect about Xander. And I mean, I got to give him his respect because I think he's next up for Puerto Rico. I know Puerto Rico has like two guys right now, Collazo and Xander, right?
No, 3 champions. Don't forget Rene Santiago.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but the name though. I'm talking about the name. Like people know Xander, people know Collazo.
Yeah, but Rene Santiago, he's also unified.
All right. Either way, but the thing is, I think Xander would be next up for Puerto Rico since everybody likes the higher weight classes, and what he did in that fight with Abbas Baru, he pretty much boxed smart, man. Like he positioned when he had to, he positioned when he had to, he boxed when he positioned and boxed when he had to, and he never gave Barras time to settle and take over pretty much. The dude fights like a veteran, man, and to people that say that like he doesn't sell out, I mean, I think he had a sellout in Puerto Rico that night, even with the Shakur, Stevenson, and Teal fight being on. He had a sellout, and I mean, you could talk about Virgil, but I think between Xander and Virgil right now, I mean, Xander's the money guy. I mean, he has what, Bad Bunny backing him. Is it Bad Bunny, Thomas?
Yeah, I think Bad Bunny does.
Yeah, like
Backing who? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Xander.
I'm not sure. I think a little bit, but I don't think as much as. I mean, he's promoted with Top Rank, so I mean, right now I'm not sure what Top Rank is doing right now with far as the TV and stuff, but he's under Top Rank, so I don't know what Bad Bunny's doing as far as Xander's concerned.
But I know he definitely has somebody backing him over in Puerto Rico, and I mean he's doing a good job selling out crowds over there. So I'm not going to be mad if he's calling people to come to Puerto Rico, because obviously we just saw what he did. He just brought in a big crowd. And to his next fight, I mean, go ahead and fight Josh Kelly, man. I mean, I'm not worried about that. Boots will have his time. But you can see Xander's moving correctly because he's going for unification. I'm sure he wants undisputed. So that's all I gotta say about Xander, man. Like he to me he's one of those next guys up, and he's only 23.
Okay, Tony, what's good, Tony, man? How you been?
Give me 1 second.
Okay. I know you're eating your pasta dinner over there. So.
Yeah, I'm chewing. My bad. I didn't want to chew on the mic.
And then can I say this one quick thing? I'm gonna jump in and say this. This is my last thing about this. And when you see Shakur go to 140 and fight T.O., that's what great fighters do. So, Boots need to look at that. And I know Eddie Hearns was like just embarrassed when he got to tell Turkey that Boots want to fight acclamation fights when he is boogeyman. That's embarrassing to Eddie, because Eddie's sitting here hyping him up to be the next Sugar Ray, Roy Jones type of fighter. That's embarrassing right there to tell Turkey that. Turkey don't want to hear that shit. Turkey want brawls. He want wars. He want fighters. That's embarrassing. Eddie Hearn had to put his hands in his pocket and shut up. That's fucked up who did to Eddie Hearn.
I mean,
Boots' situation is kind of special though, man. Like nobody wants to fight the guy, so it's kind of that's a special.
No, I'm saying this. When Turkey said, Boots, your first fight at 54 gonna be Virgil Ortiz, and he said he want to fight acclamation fights. That's a problem. That's a big problem right there, because you're the guy that can beat Terrence Crawford. You're the guy that can beat Canelo, but Virgil is a goddamn tune-up, really. If we, so why can't you go from 47 to 54 and fight Virgil Ortiz?
I mean, Virgil, the dude trying to sue Golden Boy because they won't allow him to fight Boots. So I don't see how that falls on Boots. But anyways, I digress.
Turkey put that money up, and he didn't. Virgil.
Virgil is trying to sue Golden Boy.
Bro, when Turkey put that money up, bro, that's documented, bro, that Boots wanted that acclamation fight, bro. Do
you know what is documented? Virgil is trying to sue Golden Boy to get out the contract because he can't get the fights he wants. So what makes you think if Boots would have been able to fight him back then if he can't fight him now?
Listen, bro. It's just deflection, bro.
Like you
Y'all
can't get around
everything, bro. Y'all
FaZe,
deflecting everything with this guy.
FaZe, you can feel the way that you want about Boots, but you
I
can't
don't
get
feel
around
no
the
way.
fact.
I'm just saying it's be a lot of Johnson bouncing when that
It's not
fight
no
was on the table
bouncing. The
for
problem
him.
is you want to bury your head in the sand and not look at the facts. The fact is Virgil Ortiz said that he does not feel like he has been given the fights that he wants to have, to the point of where he's trying to sue his way out of a contract like Canelo did. So again, you can say what you believe, you can say what you think, but what we know is a fact is Virgil Ortiz is trying to sue his way out of the contract.
I'm
because he
saying
can't
what
get the
came
Boots
out
fight.
of Turkey Al-Sheik's mouth. He's in an interview clearly saying that Boots wanted 1 or 2 tune-up fights, and I'm not paying for that. I got an interview. We could pull up an interview with Turkey Al-Sheik, get an interview, sitting down, where they asked him about that, and he said Jerron Ennis want 1 or 2 tune-up fights. Can we pull that up?
No, we don't have to pull it up.
Okay,
we can all agree. Hold on. We don't have to pull it up. We can agree that you're accurate. We agree with you. You're accurate because, there was a time where Turkey was like, the man want 2 tune-ups. I ain't looking, but I'm not looking to pay for 2 tune-ups. I'm not saying he said it in those exact words, but that's kind of what I took from it. So I agree with you on that point. My thing is why is Boots looking for tune-ups? I don't think
that's what I'm saying.
I think Boots is good enough where when you move to the same way, and I think you brought this up, same way when Shakur moved to the next division, he didn't go for a tune-up. He went after the smoke. You know what I'm saying?
No, he did not.
I think Boots.
Hold on. Wait. So you real quick, Tony. Oh, and Tony, you telling me that when Shakur moved to 40, you telling me that T.O. What? Hold on, real. Let me ask my question.
Well, it was supposed to be my time to talk. Nobody let me talk.
No, I'm gonna let you go. I got you. You telling me T.O. wasn't the smoke
the lineal champion
at 40? You telling me he's not the smoke at 40?
Let me ask you a question, Dub.
Well, answer my question.
No.
Answer my question.
Let him talk first.
No, he got to answer a question before he asks me a question.
This is the problem with some conversations on here. People want to direct and control the narrative, but they don't want to hear what's really going on.
I'm going to answer any question you ask directly.
I'm going to answer your question, but the problem is your question is irrelevant. So I'm throwing that out there now, and I'm going to make sure that you understand why it is an irrelevant question. No. When Shakur went to 140, he did not go for no acclamation fight. He went straight for T.O. Now, here's the problem. When Shakur first moved to 130, did he get an acclamation fight?
Yes.
There's the issue with your question. Boots moved up to his 2nd weight class, got an acclamation. Shakur is moving into his 4th. It is not the same. So the fact that you try to ask a question as if Shakur going to 140 is the same as Boots going to 154 from 147 is the same. It's not. You comparing apples to oranges. And
no, I'm not
done, Dub. I'll let you
go
talk.
Ahead, I want you to finish. I want to respond.
The problem that you're trying to do is you're trying to compare 2 people at 2 different points in their careers. Where Shakur's at as a career is way more advanced than where Boots is in his career. And to compare them as if they're at the same stage is ridiculous. And using your phrase, you're out of order for doing it.
And this is the problem I have with you, Tony. At this current moment in time, correct me if I'm wrong, even with Shakur doing what he's done, he's a 4-weight division champion. Boots a 2-weight division champion. The difference is Shakur has gotten to, and if you were to tell me, man, he shouldn't have took a tune-up fight, okay, whatever. My thing is when he get to the biggest weight class, right, and with him being 28 years of age right now, which I think this is your prime, same way I think Boots is in his prime, it ain't no time for bruh, fuck the tune-ups. We want to see you get the smoke.
And you already complaining about fights. When Bud went from 135 to 140, he fought for a vacant title against Thomas Delorme. It's just you complain about fights and you got to fight there. Fight. Shit, what you need a tune-up for? You said you've been chasing Virgil. It shouldn't matter. Get him. The money's there. The stage is set. Fight.
Again, Boots cannot fight somebody who is literally trying to sue their way out of a contract because he's saying his promotional company won't allow the fight to happen. How can you put that on Boots if Virgil said they're not letting me fight him, so I'm going to sue them to get the fight?
I don't put that on him. What I'm putting on him is I don't put that on him. What I put on him is that man was he was a champion at 47, right? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he was the WBA and IBF champion at 47. And so when you the champion, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't move up and fight the champion.
I mean, last time I checked,
was Virgil a champion?
Hold on. We're not talking about Virgil. We're not talking about Virgil. And the reason I brought this up is because if you want to bring Virgil up, that's one thing. I'm talking about Boots moving up, fighting the champions. Boots didn't move up and fight any of them guys. He fought a guy that we ain't never heard of.
He can request to be the mandatory in the IBF and the WBA. That was the title as well. He can request that.
Here's what I'm going to say.
He's going to get it.
So, here's what I was going to say, and I still have yet to been able to speak my part because every time I talk, I have to keep going back and forth with people.
My bad.
But this is what I'm going to say. Did Shakur Stevenson fight the champion when he moved up from 126 to 130?
Do you want me to answer it? You want me to answer it?
Yeah,
I know
already
Terrence
answered it,
Crawford
but you can answer it
y'all
again.
said Boots could beat Terrence Crawford. I know Terrence Crawford fought for the
Hold on.
WBO.
He didn't ask about Bud. He asked about
Bud since he could beat Bud.
Well, we gotta. I mean, if the man gonna ask the question, we gotta answer the question directly, don't we? I think we do. One more time, Tony. Ask that one more time. I apologize.
I mean, you already answered it earlier, Dub. It's just gonna be the same answer that you gave before because I'm coming back full circle too.
Did Devin Haney
went up from 126 to 130? Did he fight the champion?
No.
Exactly. There have been several great fighters who have moved up in weight and not immediately fought champions. There have been several great fighters who move up, get a fight or two to acclimate to the weight, to see if their power is the same, to see if they can actually compete at that level before they go for belts. This is nothing new to boxing. Yes, you have a few people like Terrence Crawford, if you want to bring up Faith.
Devin Haney.
But what you're leaving out is when Terrence Crawford moved up to fight for a belt in a weight class up, he fought Gamboa for a vacated belt that nobody was holding. So he didn't even fight a champion in his first. And Gamboa, I believe, was actually moving up in weight to fight for that vacated belt that nobody had.
I'm looking at it right here. It say 2015. He fought for a WBO junior welterweight title against Thomas Delorme. That's what it say right here.
Was it vacated?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so he didn't fight a champion for the belt.
Yeah. But let me answer. Can I answer that or ask the question to Tony? Because I see what you're saying. I think you're right to get acclimated to the weight and whatever. But the problem I have with Boots in this scenario is like any other time. I think it depends. But in your opinion, and this is a question from me to you, what about a guy that had 30 fights, like a guy that's been a pro for as long as Boots have? Is it okay for somebody like him to get a tune-up? Are you okay with it?
Yes.
Okay, and why were you okay with it? Okay, go ahead.
I'll explain why. While he only has, he has like 31 fights, which seems like a lot on paper.
35.
He had a just like Xander. Hold on,
let him answer.
Just like Xander, Boots is kind of the same. They had very limited amateur fights before they went pro. So when a guy has a very limited amateur career, they tend to take longer when they go pro. So I don't have nothing against it because the dude did not have a deep amateur background.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair because I'm one to say I didn't like the tune-up against Lima Beans, whatever everybody's joking to call him, because I felt with a guy with 30 fights, he shouldn't be getting a tune-up. But with your explanation, I think that's a fair argument. So I'm okay with that. I would never dismiss it, dismiss your argument. I think that's a fair point.
But when you look at Boots and Xander, right? When you compare the two, okay, Xander started at 147. When all them killers were at 147, did he try to fight one of them killers? Did he try to fight a Earl Spence? Did he try to fight a Terrence Crawford? Did he even try to fight a Sean Porter? Or did he go up in weight to go to a weaker weight class?
Oh my God.
No. Because if we're going to compare things and try to dissect what they do, how they move, then you have to be fair across the board. Now, Boots never fought any of them killers either. He ended up fighting Stanionis, who was ring rust. That's really the only champion he beat. But I digress. The point is, if you're going to get into the nitty gritty and try to dissect these dudes' careers, you could do it to both of them very badly.
Boy, that boy almost got 40 fights, and he don't got no notable. And it's
What
just
do you
like
mean?
he could beat everybody. He could beat everybody.
Okay, first off and foremost, nobody said at least I did not say he could beat everybody. Secondly, Boots has done just as much as Xander. In fact, he did it faster than Xander. He unified before Xander did. Xander just unified against a guy in a vacant title match. So he didn't beat a champion to vacate. He beat an interim champion. So again, when Boots unified, it was actually against an actual champion. There's a difference. So again, I'm not trying to get into this nitty gritty who did more in their career, but this is why I'm saying when you get into this and you talk to people who actually know about their resumes, know about their records, know about who they fought, when you start trying to dissect one person's career, it gets ugly if you don't know the guy you're supporting, especially when you're trying to do achievements. Now, what I will say is this. I believe Boots is still unproven. I believe he looks good to the eye test, but we haven't seen him in there with the best of the best. But at the same retrospect, when I look at Xander Zayas, I see a very basic fighter. I see a dude who's good at fundamentals, but that's about where it stops. He's good with the straight. He's good with the jab. He's good setting you up with the uppercut. He does decent body work, but he's very straightforward, straight back. He doesn't really use a lot of angles. He uses more physicality to run you over. And the one thing that I don't like about him is he's really emotional when things aren't going his way. When he's looking for the knockout, he gets reckless. Not only does he get reckless, but he's notorious for being dirty. He hits people low numerous times. Go watch his fights. He'll throw elbows. He'll do headbutts. Now, that's all fine.
A lot of fighters go low.
I'm not saying that, Teach, but what I'm saying is he's notorious for doing it, which works when you're fighting these no-name fighters. But when you start to fight premier fighters and that's your tactics, well, guess what? It's not the same because it's not home cooking anymore. They're going to start calling you on it. And if that's what you're relying on to win your fights like he does in a lot, there's going to be an issue. Now, again, Xander, youngest fighter top rank ever signed. You got to give him the credit for that. But again, in my opinion, because he was so young when he got signed, a lot of them amateur years that he would have been fighting where it doesn't matter if you win or lose, really, truthfully, at the end of the day, because when you go pro, your record goes back to 0. A lot of them fundamental forming years from like 16 to 18 to 19, he don't have those. That's why he's very straight up and down. It's going to be interesting to see how he does when the fighters that he starts to fight go up in levels and they're more dynamic and they don't just stand in front of him. I don't know how he's going to do. He looks decent, but again, you have to have more than physicality to win fights at the top level. I've said this with several fighters. I said it with Matias. I've been saying he was trash, and time has proven that he is trash. I think Berlanga was trash. Now, where somebody was saying that Bad Bunny's back in Xander. I don't know who said that. It might have been you, Teach. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing because all the New York rappers were back in Berlanga, and that man trash.
Yeah.
In time,
but real quick, like I just
shout out to Fat Joe, man. Shout out to Fat Joe.
Not to interrupt you, Tony, but there's a difference between Berlanga and Xander. And I know what you're saying because I kind of said the same thing about Xander because I think Xander might have peaked at a young age. I think what you're seeing as Xander might be the best Xander. I don't know if we could see a better version of him. And I don't like that he keeps his head kind of on a straight line a lot. So I've been very critical of Xander as well. I think he's good for what he is. You know, he's not trash, but I don't like when people compare it to Berlanga because I think it's two different fighters. I think Berlanga is just.
Well, I wasn't trying to say he was on. I think he's better than Berlanga by far. But the thing, the only point I was making to Teach was it don't matter who's backing you. They could back you all day out the ring, but when you get in the ring, that all disappears.
Yep.
Xander actually lives there, right? In Puerto Rico.
He's back and forth to Florida. I think he mostly trains in Florida because I had Kansas Kid on yesterday, Kid Kansas, Alan Garcia, and he moved out to Florida and he works with Xander a lot. So I think Xander moved, and I think he's from San Juan. He was born in San Juan, but he lives in Florida now.
All right. Man, Xander, man, dude, he has the looks. The dude could speak. Spanish fluently. He got the Puerto Rican backing. I mean, he's next up for Puerto Rico, man.
Well, we'll see as he goes up in levels. But when I look at Boots, I see a more, and like I said, Boots has not been tested on the highest level to me. Like I said, Stanionis is his biggest test on paper, but Stanionis was ring rusted to hell. So I don't really put a lot of stock into that because you had a dude who kept taking step aside money, not fighting. What do you have? Like one fight in 2 years?
Yeah, he wasn't even that active.
That's what I'm saying. He was super inactive. So I don't take a lot from that win. But when I look at Xander and I look at Boots, Boots to me is more put together. I've seen Boots fight from the outside. I've seen him fight from the inside. I've seen him fight behind the jab. I've even seen him fight behind the hooks. I've seen more diversity into how Boots moves around the ring because he circles versus going straight forward, straight back. So again, I'm not saying Boots will beat Xander, but when I look at what they do, the dynamics they bring to the ring, I do believe Boots brings more dynamics to the way that he fights than where Xander's at this moment.
Yeah.
Now, he's still young. He could still improve. But if we're talking about current form, I don't think he's complete yet.
Did you watch Xander's last two fights? Because he wasn't just going straight back and forward. Like, he was taking angles and all that. So Xander's pretty textbook, and it works perfectly for him.
Yeah, but it's like, look at what Boots teach. This is my point. Boots, when he first fought Cameron the first time, do you see how sloppy he looked?
Yeah, he looked terrible.
He wasn't ready for all that movement. He had never been in there with a dude who's gonna say Lomachenko style of fighting, come off the off angle, come underneath you, come with the overhand, switch the looks, switch the timing, switch the speed. So the first fight against Cameron looked very sloppy. The second one, he adjusted. He showed that he came with a different game plan, how to approach him. Now, you can say Cameron fought different, but it's still the same fighter in Cameron. And it looked completely different the second time around. I'm just saying that I believe Boots is more complete at this point than Xander is. I've seen more.
He's a lot older, of course.
Well, yeah, but the problem is it don't matter how old they are if they fight tomorrow. It matters where they're at today.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Boots almost, he's 28, 29, or he's 28. Xander's 23. I mean, of course, Boots got his grown man strength. He's got more, fights. He's experienced. He's experienced enough to handle the Zayas. I think he can handle the Zayas. I think I would have him. I would take Boots in that fight for sure. But
yeah, me the same. I mean, like I always tell people this all the time. I mean, I'm gonna root for Xander, but my cheers ain't gonna help him win. I pick Boots to win in the fight. I pick Boots to beat Xander.
No, yeah.
I mean, neither one of them is my dog in a race. My favorite fighter at 154 is Fundora. That's who I want to be.
Fundora. Oh wow!
Shit.
I love that dude.
You have him stopping. You have him stopping Thurman.
I don't know. See, the problem with Once Upon a Hairline is that dude. He's crafty,
and he
like Thurman wins fights he should not win, especially where he's at in his age. He's been very injury prone, but it's Fundora that got hurt. But I don't know. Like, he's an old veteran. He's crafty.
Let me ask you this: what's your favorite quality about Fundora? Just the height, or?
No, it's not the height. The thing about Fundora is Fundora fights like a short fighter. Like, he's just gotten the way he's fighting off the jab, full range, use the straight, walk you into it. But if push comes to shove, that dude fights like a short guy. He'll beat you up in the phone booth, and you don't see that from tall people. The way that he generates power in close proximity is like unheard of.
Yeah.
Because like the thing about tall fighters is a short fighter, once you close that gap, close that distance, you're supposed to take the steam off their punches to where now they're at the end of your punch and they're like half hitting. But that tall, lanky scarecrow, he gets so much power generated with very little movement. And that's why I like him. I like a tall dude who ain't scared to get in there and fight you.
Yeah.
At what point, and I'm glad you said that, Tony. At what point are we going to sit here? Because I hear people talk about weight bullies. I don't believe in weight bullies. Me personally, I don't believe in it. That's just my personal opinion. Y'all can disagree with me. I have no problem. My thing is, at what point in time we're gonna sit here and look at Fundora? Yeah, you young, you able to be fighting at 54 at what? Yeah, I'm 6'5", you know what I'm saying? So what is he? 6'4", 6'6"? I don't know what he is. Six. Okay. And you 6'6" at 154. Last time I weighed 154, and I'm 6'5". Hold on, I got you, Tony. I got you. Last time I weighed it, I was in damn middle school, damn near. Maybe a freshman in high school. Maybe I probably didn't weigh it then. So my question is, at what point in time is it time for him to move up? Y'all,
Dub, this is what I want you to do real fast, right? I want you to hold your hand up. Look at your palm. Now put your hand in like the shape of a karate chop, where you're seeing like the side of your hand. That's wider than Fundora's body. I don't think he's a weight bully. I just think he's a little dude.
but there's he can, as small as you want to be. I'm just being, man. I know people who are 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", that weigh all of 154, and for this man to be 6'6", weighing 154. When is it time for him to move up? When is it time for him to move up?
60. Is 60 gonna be harder punches? He already not that.
Man,
durable.
he gonna dominate 60, bro. And I'm gonna tell you why he gonna dominate 60. I'll tell you exactly why. Because, like Tony said, one thing that he's starting to establish more in his fights now is his jab. He's starting to understand how to fight behind that jab. When you tall like that and you've been in them, you fighting at 54. Everybody gonna fight you on the inside. I can't fight a tall lad from the outside, so I gotta fight him from the inside. So he got that piece of the game down. Now, what we're looking for, can you put it all together? And Fundora is still a young individual as well. I think Fundora, what is he, 26? I think he's 26 years old. I could be wrong. Y'all know better than I do. Y'all smarter than I am, and it is what it is. All I'm telling you is if he can understand, and we done watched him probably his last 2 or 3 fights, we done watched him start to utilize that jab much more. And even though he can establish it the way that we want him to establish it, if I can keep you on the outside early, I already know how to fight on the inside, right? I can throw uppercuts from the other side of the ring. I can fight you where I want to. But if I can put that jab on you, then you can't do nothing against me with the size that I have. I think he need to develop that more. And I think he's working to develop that more. Man, if he get anything like his sister is, and I don't know if y'all done watch Gabrielle Fundora.
Oh, she's
fantastic out there. I think she's fantastic watching. If he can get anything close to that, because she'll put that jab on you early, and then she'll accept the inside fight and beat your ass on the inside as well. So
I think she has a stronger and better mindset than her brother. I think
she understands. Yeah, I think she understands it better. Agree. A higher ring IQ. That's what we call it. A higher ring IQ. I agree with you.
Look, man, all I know is Fundora showed up to the press conference looking like Bruno Mars, and he ready. He ready.
You out of order, man.
He did
No, go look at him. You can't tell me with that hat and them glasses, he didn't look like 24K Magic.
I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what we talking. I know exactly what we're talking about, but
I'm talking about the new star. Look, man. Like I said, that's my favorite fighter. So I want him to beat Chief Keef. I don't know if he will because
he putting hands on Keith Thurman, bro. He
them old veterans. Don't count out them old lions.
The panel. You know, it's so crazy. Thurman is crafty, but the problem is this. One thing Fundora does well, outside of being able to and fight on the inside, he goes to the body well. He goes and with him being so damn tall, he wrap around individual. Like, you know what you got to do when you trying to catch them body shots. Expect you drop them on, you drop them elbows, you catch the body shot. He's so long, he wrap around the damn elbows and still land on the body. So.
He got good. All I'm gonna say is like the last 2 young dudes who got in the ring with Chief Keef, he done made him look bad. He beat up Mario Barrios and he beat the crap out of Brock Johnson until he went 90-night in the 3rd round. So I'm just saying, like, look, I want Fundora to win, He should win, but you can never count out a veteran, crafty lion that. I mean, Chief got some power, man. You know, he might have lost that hairline, but he ain't lost that power yet.
And this food for thought right here.
And sometimes smart, and he's smart. Sometimes he's one of the smartest guys in the ring, in my opinion. So I understand where
you're the smartest. He's gonna be the smarter guy in the ring. Right now, they got Keith Thurman at like a plus 350 against Fundora minus 450. So Keith Thurman, you put 100, you get 350. That I mean, damn, I might have to put 300-400 on Keith that night. Double up, triple up.
Just be prepared to lose your honey. Just be prepared to lose it.
Nah.
Yo, real quick, because we've been on for a minute, but I'm glad Tony's here because I feel like Tony. Every time I see Tony, he doesn't really have a bias. He's neutral. So, what do you think of? Because I'm biased because I like Shu Shu. I think he's good. And being that we're talking about another tall fighter, what do you think about Shu Shu fighting Espinoza? What do you think happens? Is Shu Shu ready for that?
Ooh.
Just tell the truth, Tony. Tell the truth, Tony.
It won't hurt my feelings, maybe a little bit, but
hell no, he ain't ready for it. Hell no.
I don't know, man. Like it's hard. It's hard because I'm from New York. It's hard. Yeah. This one hard. You say I'm not biased, but it's just like I got a soft spot for cheeseburger with no bun on top. Gerald Miller, like I got a top for these New Yorkers.
Hey, man, pulled up to the scene with the ceiling missing, man. What
did you go to the fight last week? Were you at the Garden?
No, I live in Atlanta now, so I'm not close.
Oh, I got you. Hold on, Tony, you in the A?
I told you this a million times.
I gotta pull up on you, bro. I'll be forgetting you in the A.
Doug's memory is the worst.
It's all that smoking.
What it is.
Nah, me and Cease were in the building. We were at the Garden. We was at the fight.
But I mean, if I would have been there, Thomas, it's hard to miss me. Like I'm pretty damn big, so I'll stick out.
Yeah, I've seen you before. I've seen it. I've seen you on video before.
Hey, Shawa says it the best, man. Espinosa, respectfully, Raphael, he gonna come with them elbows. He gonna come with the dirty, and he got the size, the length. I mean, it is what it is. I ain't gonna lie. I want to see the fight, and I heard Shu Shu.
Oh, I missed this. None of the. Okay, go ahead. I missed the chat.
Oh, my bad. I'm out of order.
Go.
I don't know what else. Well, I heard Shu Shu. He said he want to fight Raphael. He want to fight the winner of Nick Ball versus what's his name this weekend. Ain't got no problem.
Figueroa. I hate that dude. I don't know why. I guess Dub. Brandon Figueroa, like if I ever met him, I just punch him because his face just made me want to punch. I don't know what it is about him.
I don't want
just don't like the way he looks.
I'll punch him.
I'm for real. Like I couldn't even interview this dude. I would punch him.
Thomas hates.
Why would you punish him?
I mean,
you seen his sister? Yeah, his sister a baddie. But this is what I say. I think Shu Shu. Problem with him is he get hit and he get hit hard and he can get hurt. And Espinoza hit hard. And if you get hurt by Espinoza, he ain't the type of fighter to let you recover. So I don't know if Bruce is ready for him, to be honest.
Sure.
I don't know, Teach. Damn. I don't know.
I think Shu Shu hits hard. A lot of people are questioning Shu Shu's power. I think Shu Shu has power. And we've seen Espinoza get hurt before. That's what I'm saying. Like early on, I was saying, like, listen, if there was 30 more seconds in that 6th round against Robisi, nobody would be talking about Espinoza. Yeah. Because he was hurt bad.
But this is the problem. Robisi had to give so much up in that fight to even have a chance. And he got, respectfully, correct me if I'm wrong, TD. He got beat down the majority of that fight.
Stopped in like the 6th
round. No, in the second half. Because remember, Robisi, this fight was, I think, in Florida, right? And Robisi was a big favorite. Nobody was really talking about Espinoza. He hurt Espinoza. I got to go back. I think it was the 6th round. I keep saying 6th round, so it's got to be that 6th round. And remember, he hurt him bad. But it was at the end of the round, he got up.
The first fight, they fought twice.
The second fight, he beat up.
Yeah, the second fight, he stopped him. Yeah, you talking about the first fight.
The second fight, the man, hey, Robisi quit. He was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good."
Yeah.
Because Espinoza was fighting dirty.
Well, but Espinoza, because he's so big, bro. Like,
I know.
He has those tactics. I'm gonna hit you with bows. You know what I'm saying? You're not, bro. I remember a time when Floyd, what Floyd used to do, nigga. You gonna try to take this one right here. Get back, nigga. That's what Floyd did, man.
I mean, the thing though is like,
I'm not complaining. I'm not real quick. I'm not comparing the fight styles the same. I'm saying that
no.
In certain man, if somebody gonna press you, because I think Shu Shu has the press and fight on the inside in that fight, you can't fight that nigga from the outside. So you gonna have, man, I'm gonna get dirty with you as soon as I can. I ain't gonna let you close distance and be where you want to be. Nah, you gonna take all of this. You gonna take all of this trying to get on the inside, nigga. Let's go.
My problem with Bruce is he's not a Devin, he's not a Shakur, he's not a Floyd, he's not a slick fighter like that. Like Bruce like to get it in. He like to hurt you, jump on you, try to hurt you some more. That's dangerous fighting a Mexican. Like, I don't care what you say, but stereotypes can be real. And Mexican fighters are very durable. Regardless about Robeisy hurting him, he recovered fast. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know if Bruce can sell out like that against that dude, because if he doesn't stop him, he gonna be in a bad spot.
I'm gonna tell you, hey, Tony, me and you, we talk boxing on a regular basis. I'm gonna tell you this. I look at, and I could be very wrong about it, very wrong. But when I looked at Andy Cruz, right, I was like, man, Andy Cruz got boxing ability. I think he can fight. You know what I'm saying? I think he can box well. He got in the ring with Raymond Muratalla. I thought it was a close fight, but he ended up losing. My thing is I think that Shu Shu, I think overall, and going back to the point that I was making first, Robeisy is kind of an Andy Cruz type of guy, in my personal opinion. The guy he's an Olympian, you know what I'm saying? When he started boxing, he had some good shows. But then when he started getting into those championship fights, you know, he couldn't really find his way around the ring accordingly, in my personal opinion. I think that Shu Shu is a tad bit more disciplined. The thing that scared me with it, I agree. I think Shu Shu, I think he want to be exciting, and I have no problem with it. This ain't the guy you want to be exciting about. And when you do it, you might have to, and the reason you might have to is because you might be getting hurt at distance, at range. So you're gonna have to take risk in that fight, and that's a tough ass fight, bro. That's a tough ass fight for Shu Shu, in my opinion. I'm picking. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm gonna put it on. I'm picking Shu Shu to win. I'm picking to win by possibly split decision or something if that fight ever get made. But I don't, man. That's a tough ass fight. I gotta see Shu Shu grow, bro. I gotta see him grow.
I'm gonna say, Dub. I heard it because I'm from New York. I heard it because
the guy that fought the guy that fought Carlos Castro cannot be the guy that fight Espinosa. Man. It can't be the same guy.
But my thing is this, Dub. Look, I love New York. I love fighters from New York, but I gotta be honest. Like, my heart of hearts tells me that if Bruce was to fight him next, Espinosa will probably knock him out in around the 8th or 9th round. He'll probably stop him and hurt him bad. Like, I don't think it's gonna be. I don't even think it'd be like one of them, like he get knocked down and then, you know, he get up. I think he gonna get punished, and I think gonna be one of them ones with a referee standing over him, waving the fight off.
Bro, they find that 126. Ain't no way you supposed to be 6 foot at 126. It's not supposed to happen.
Well,
you tell me somebody who's 6 foot tall that weigh 126 pounds.
But I'm gonna tell you, I think the best fighter there is Nick Ball. That's my dog in the race.
That's what he said he wanted.
You out of order.
That's what Shu Shu said he wanted next when I saw him. He said he said Nick Ball.
Picked Nick Ball. He gonna pick Nick Ball.
He said Nick Ball without anybody saying, wait, he's fighting Figueroa. He said Nick Ball.
You know what's so bad about you saying that, Dub?
What you got?
You know who also said that? Raymond Ford. And what happened to him?
Raymond Ford struggling. He struggled. Hell.
He lost bad.
What you want me to say? He struggled hella in that fight. I agree, but I think Shu Shu is way better than Raymond Ford.
But you got to look at it like this. Ford lost to him. Ray Vargas should have lost to him and got a gifted draw, but he got his ass whooped in that fight.
Yep.
Agreed.
So, I mean, Nick Ball has gone through like all the hard killers of the division. I don't even know why he's fighting Brandon Figueroa. I don't even understand that fight.
I give Nick Ball credit. Like I think Nick Ball a hell of a fighter, bro. Like
Yo, Tony, that's gonna be a good fight because both guys they come to fight. They're gonna be in the pocket slugging it out.
That's a firefight.
And you know the Mexicans always do well against the UK fighters over there. So that's another thing.
Brandon Figueroa ain't finna do a damn thing. Brandon Figueroa he might get knocked out. I ain't gonna call it. He might get.
But I'm just saying, like history tells us that these Mexicans they do well against the UK fighters. So this fight is in Liverpool, which is Nick Ball's, home. City or whatever you want to call it in English.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he won that fight.
Right? It's in England?
Yeah, it's in England, but Liverpool, which is where the part of England that Nick Ball is from.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, but I mean, Shu Shu, in regards to Shu Shu, like Shu Shu came up in the amateurs as a boxer, like a boxer puncher, but he's been wanting to mix it up and fight a little bit more. And that's what worries me a little bit, because like he did get, he got hurt a little bit in that fight last Saturday. He composed himself and he came back and he obviously won. But, I worry if he fights a guy like Espinoza. I think him and Nick Ball will be a great fight, like on good for the eyes for TV. But I see Shu Shu beating Nick Ball. I think Espinoza is the toughest one.
It depends on how Shu Shu deals with that pressure, Nick Ball, because if his chin ain't right, he touching that canvas. So I don't know, man. I think Shu Shu just need more time to develop. Like I think
no more development, man. He has a belt.
He got a belt. I know he beat Castro, but you know what? He was damn near. It was a scare of him losing in that fight. He got hurt.
Yeah,
that was a tough fight. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
And that's what I'm saying. If Castro hurting you like that,
but Castro can punch though.
Yeah, Castro.
Yeah, but Espinoza hit harder.
Yeah,
I think what is Espinoza stop like 24, 25 people?
Something like that.
In like what, 27, 28 fights?
Hey man, look, at the end of the day,
I'm gonna box wreck him. Hold on.
At the end of the day, just don't. If you stay at the end of Espinosa, at the end of his punches, you in trouble. You can't be at the end of nothing that this man is throwing.
Yeah, he's 28 wins. My bad, Dub. He's 28 wins with 24 knockouts.
Well, most of those knockouts, I mean, were they in Mexico against guys we don't know?
Yeah, he's fought.
Nah, they was in America.
Most of them, really? Even before the Robeisy fight, the first one?
Out of his last 4 fights, 3 of those were in America.
No. I'm saying, like, yeah, ever since he won the title, did he beat Robeisy? But before Robeisy, a lot of those fights were in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not looking at it. I could look it up.
Yeah. If you go prior to, then probably 90% of his fights were in Mexico. But I'm talking about since he's got on top, the last 3 out of the 4 fights have been in America.
Okay. Yeah. And he's a top-ranked guy, too. So his last fight, I felt he fought somebody good. I forgot, who did he fight? Was it an Asian guy or something like that? Let me look this up.
It was
like an Asian guy.
The dude that Fulton fought before.
Yeah, it was Arnold. I don't remember how the fuck to say
Arnold Key guy.
Yeah. Fulton fought him, and the other guy.
He's well, he looks Asian. He's from the Ukraine. A lot of these Russians look they look Asian. They look.
Well, that's because
they are Asian, but you know.
Yeah, a lot of the U.S.
Asian bloodline.
The USSR used to go into Asia. That's why.
Yeah, that was and that guy was tough.
Yeah, well, Siberia is also connected to the Eurasian, continental region.
Yeah, his name is Kagai. Yeah,
he stopped him, and he's tough because he fought Joey Gonzalez to a close fight. I mean, Espinoza's hitting hard.
I just think
Yeah.
Espinosa, he's just like a dirty fighter. Like I don't
Some
really
elbows, man. The same thing with all tall fighters. You got to watch the elbow. And Fundora too.
Yeah, I mean Fundora, like he's like a particular outlier where like obviously when you're tall and lanky, you should be using like your height to box, not really trying to like brawl it out with guys that that okay, if you're gonna be fighting, guys that are shorter than you, why try to turn it into like a dirty dog fight when you know that you have all that height?
But K-Rod, you got to understand, these people came up at a time, and even though they were taller, and I don't know when they actually got that tall. But my thing is when you come up, and a lot of times, shit, if you taller than individuals, the first thing that your coach trying to teach you is how to fight on the inside, because that's where they're gonna attack you at. Now, I want you to fight behind your jab. I want that, but this is the attack that they're gonna come with. So if they end up getting on the inside, this is what we're gonna have to beat you on the inside. And unfortunately, elbows and all that stuff, it come into play on the inside. Right now, if you teach a fighter, which I think Fundora is learning, I can't say this about Espinosa yet. I think Espinosa got a decent jab, nothing special, but I think Fundora, what he's learning right now, I think he's learning how to utilize and fight from that outside. And what is Fundora? 20, he about 27, 28, somewhere in there. So once if I can be long, tall, you know what I'm saying, and then understand how to fight on the inside, nigga, I'm keeping that stick on you from the beginning. If I can keep the stick on you for 4 rounds and win 4 rounds, I don't want to fight, because once it becomes an inside fight, it's a 50-50 fight. And I already got 4 rounds on you. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, go back and watch like the Brian Mendoza fight. Like I will
he
say
didn't
Fundora,
utilize his jab against Brian Mendoza though.
Yeah. But I'm using that, as a perfect litmus test to show that no matter how big and tall you are, those particular fundamentals that you should be good at while being tall, that should be coming into play as you're developing as a fighter. So with Fundora's, particular skill set, it should not have to be a rock'em sock'em robot type of fighting style.
But K-Rod, they did some backwards on us, and I agree with you. Like if me and you, we agree that, man, if you're the longer guy, we're gonna teach you how to utilize your jab. That's what we want you to do. They did something backwards on us. They said we're gonna teach you how to fight on the inside first. And even though Fundora took punishment, in my personal opinion, even with the when he got stopped by Brian Mendoza, big overhand right? Was it truly a skillful setup? I can't say that. But hey, he got clipped, and the man was asking, he was ordering fries on the damn canvas. So it is what it is. But at the same time, the way that they're teaching these guys now, they're saying, okay, this is what you struggle at. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna make you, and this is what I'm hoping. This is what I'm hoping, because this is what I would do. If I'm coaching Fundora now, bro, we ain't working on the inside game no more. Nigga, we working on your jab. The entire fight camp. We making sure your jab is, bro, you gonna have the best. We working on that. And why? Because you already understand how to fight on the inside. You can accept that if you need to. But if you can keep that stick out there, you can double, triple, quadruple that jab up and continue to land it, bro, you can win the fight with that. And if for some reason they get around your jab and they can make it an inside fight, well, you already understand how to do that. You already understand it. So that's why I think Sebastian Fundora, I think he has a chance to be special.
I mean, yeah, he can. It's just more like, he should have noticed this like a longer time ago, because it's like, yeah, like I get it. Like, up and coming young fighters always learn, on the job, regardless of how many, amateur fights that they have. But it's more like, if you want to be great, in the sport, you should be learning a lot faster. So therefore you can excel at how should I say, as a better fighter. So therefore, when you reach that elite level, you're already there. to basically understand those tougher styles coming into your tougher fights. I mean, that's how I used to do it back in back in high school, when I used to wrestle.
Absolutely, but the first thing the first thing you do, man, I want you to be great at this, right? So we got you good at the inside game. Now I need to make you great, and maybe it should have been backwards, but the problem is because of your size, they're gonna fight you on the inside. That's what they want. That's what they can't beat you on the outside. And in their mind, you tell me anybody who ever beat Fundora with a jab. You tell me. We ain't never seen that.
Yeah, because he's able to use his size to.
So I gotta get you right with this first, because it's gonna be inside fighting. But at the same time, if I can get you right there, and then I can show you, man, I can start at 20, however old he is, I can start you utilizing your jab consistently. All right, I'm starting to build a monster. That's my mindset. I'm starting to build a monster. So I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that, I would have. When you that damn tall, bro, that's what niggas gonna do. You gotta learn to fight on the inside when you that big.
I was actually gonna probably use I was gonna use another fighter that's similar in that particular regard. Who was like that other fighter that was good on the come up? He was very tall and super lanky. I was gonna use maybe Jamonte Clark, but I think Jamonte Clark, he's like a good pure, established, boxer. So I totally forgot. So I'm gonna shrug that off because I don't want to hold that up, into a thinking battle. But yeah, back to the whole Fundora thing. Yeah, I agree. He has a lot of time left to put himself at a greater position. My only counter argument to that is just that if you know that you see these flaws, while you were coming into the sport, that should be the rule number one, to be a student of the game while you're in the gym growing, to be like, okay, these are certain things that I know that I may not be good at. Let me sharpen these tools up, so therefore I can put myself in a better position to succeed. So once you're at the world title level, you already know what to do, because it's Fundora, when he I should say, when he uses his jab, he has such a great accuracy to land that jab effectively when he has his distance to be measured. But if you could put that next to a trainer like a Ronnie Shields, or let's just say Buddy McGirt, or anybody that knows those higher level fundamental knowledge, Fundora, he would be a absolute problem. It's just more having that level of consistency. So therefore, that level of training can be known, at a much earlier stage, to showcase that particular, high level ring IQ.
But the thing is, and I agree with you. I agree. And if it was me, I don't think I would allow him to even get for Brian Mendoza to even get close to land the overhand. If that was me. But one thing I do always understand is hell, I see things, and I ain't no boxing trainer. So what these guys see, they may know more, or they may see things totally different from the way I do. My thing is where we're at now. We have to work off of what we currently have. We can't do nothing about the Brian Mendoza fraud order night. We can't do nothing about that. But what we can do something about is the next fights that we have coming up. If you want to fight on the inside, cool. But you're not gonna, and shout out to Brian, or not Brian Norman, Bernard Hackett. Bernard Hackett, he told us, had a chance to ask him about Jalil fight. Bernard said, man, hey Shouty, I'm using his lingo. Hey Shouty, you got these rounds right here. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you get out those rounds, these are my rounds where I'm gonna coach you to, hey, fight behind your jet. I'm gonna coach you behind that. But you got these first four. I'm gonna say four. You got these first 4 rounds to do what you gonna do. After that, I got the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think Sebastian Fundora, I think he's a fighter, but I think he's smart enough to understand that, nigga, if I could just sit there and pump that jab and yeah, all right, you close the distance. I got uppercuts for you all day. I can throw an uppercut from the other side of the ring. Close the distance if you want to. Let's see what happens. You feel me? That's how I look at it with Sebastian Fundora. But we got to see what happens. I can't wait to see the Tower Inferno against either Boots or against Xander Zayas. I think those are major fights. You know what I'm saying? I think those are huge fights in the sport of boxing. Well, for true boxing heads, most folks don't know these guys, but I think for us, I would love to see both of those fights, Boots and Xander against Fundora. Man, those are both 2 great fights. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, man, Keith Thurman getting knocked out. Well, I ain't gonna say he getting knocked out. He might survive. He crafty, but he getting beat up in that fight, bro. He getting beat up.
Yeah, I think Keith Thurman could possibly be Fundora. I think Keith has that veteran level skill that can possibly upset him. But if Fundora gets a victory, like I don't really have anything to contest, up against that. If he's able to pass up against a guy like Keith Thurman, so I think overall, hypothetically speaking, of Fundora, if he gets passed through Keith Thurman, I think one of the toughest fights heading into the future will definitely be Boots, Xander, and I'll throw in Virgil Ortiz in there because I just think that type of style will definitely give him like a tougher battle. But I think as far as like Fundora's level of like where he's at right now, this is a very interesting time to see like where he's gonna shine.
K-Rod, I want to ask you, K-Rod. We watched Xander get knocked down by Boychek twice, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong there. I might be wrong.
Yeah, you're talking about Virgil. Xander never fought.
No, I didn't say, my bad. I meant Virgil.
Yeah.
I apologize. We seen him get knocked down twice against Boychuk. And I ain't even gonna lie, I thought Boychuk struggled against Butayev, an individual I thought that was retired, that was training other fighters. And the last time we seen Butayev fight, last time I seen him fight was against Stanley-Onis. I picked him to win. He lost the fight. He ain't got no problem being wrong. Man, I don't think that if you go up and I ain't gonna say go, I mean, Sergey or Boychuk struggled in that fight, in my personal opinion. I thought he got hit with some body shots from Butayev that he struggled with.
Yeah.
If that happens and he knocked Xander down twice and won the fight, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Xander looking more and more like food right now, respectfully. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I honestly I think where where everything stands, I mean, every fight is a 50-50 fight heading into the 154 gauntlet. So it's just more to do with like how the styles really mesh. And I think at the very top, Xander and Boots and Fundora will definitely be the top, players. But I wouldn't be surprised if Virgil Ortiz, he possibly, gets any victories as well, because it's like anybody can easily, take it, take how should I say, any fighter out. And I think just as far as the fundamental concept of how every fighter fights, it's just more like a lot of fighters are really in it for the strength and conditioning of how they fight with their style, and very few fighters have very gifted fundamentals to actually display it at a much higher how should I say, elite level, where they can actually display some form of a separation when they're going into bigger fights. So I think 154 is a true gauntlet of athletically gifted fighters, but as far as the skillful gifted talent of where where every fighter has their own particular unique style, it's very hard to differentiate how this fighter could beat that fighter just based off of like what we're particularly speculating off of how we're seeing these fights, hypothetically going down.
Hey, TD, real quick, TD, last question, and I'm done after this. I apologize for making. I probably made the show too long, but did you talk about the what's my brother name, man? The boogeyman versus Josh Kelly. What's the boogeyman?
We opened. That was the first one we spoke about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, background.
Yeah, that was it was an interesting fight. I mean,
hey, y'all have a good night.
I thought overall it could have been a draw. I thought overall. Oh, yeah, okay. I thought overall it could have been a draw. I'm not mad at the decision either way, but I did think that Kelly boxed well in the beginning of the fight, the first half, but the second half, I thought he did a little bit too much running and a little bit too much clinching. And, I didn't realize this until a little while ago that one of the judges scored the last round 10-10 in a round that Bakram clearly won.
How do you score 10-10 round? I don't
exactly. If he scores it, and what happens is if that judge scores it 10-9 for Bakram instead of 10-10, it's a majority draw, and Bakram is still the champion.
I don't understand 10-10 rounds. I don't understand that. Unless everybody get knocked down, then I gotta not. Okay, I understand the 9-9, but I don't understand. I never understood 10-10 rounds. Somebody got to edge it out, in my opinion. But I mean, shout out to the judges. They did what they did, man. I thought it was a tough ass fight. At the end of the day, I thought that, man, Bakram, the man, he did a horrible job cutting the ring off. Got dropped with a jab. Not gonna lie, and I've never been a huge Josh Kelly fan, but from what I've seen from Josh Kelly always been a really good boxer. You know what I'm saying? Had power at certain times in his career, but never been like a knockout artist and nothing like that. I think, I had Josh Kelly winning. I just thought that, man, when you're doing it like that, if I'm gonna be on the front foot, just cut the ring off. And what happened to individuals cutting off? Or teaching how to cut the ring off? It seems like trainers these days don't teach this anymore because most folks don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
and it just seemed like Bakram he didn't have a clue as far as how to cut the ring off to let his punches go. And I'm like, bro, I don't know. It seemed a tad bit weird, but and I'm not saying weird as far as he throwing the fight or nothing like that. I'm just saying for you not to know how to do that, and Josh Kelly to be giving you the movement he giving you, you couldn't find it. And right, that's one of the you learned that early in boxing. So I don't know. Go ahead. I apologize.
No, you good. I mean, we pretty much spoke about it, but I agree with you. Kelly, I thought did well boxing, in the first half of the fight, but there were rounds where, Bakram couldn't cut off the ring, but Kelly wasn't really throwing punches. He was literally running, you know what I'm saying? And then eventually he got gassed. And kind of what I thought the fight would be, like I thought Kelly would do this in the beginning, and I thought he would gas out, but I thought Bakram would get to him and stop him. And he got to him in the 9th round, but he couldn't finish him. I think Kelly did a good job holding on and surviving in those last few rounds. Because
that brother survived. That brother survived.
You know what I'm saying? But this is what happens when you're not in the ring. When you're inactive for over a year, you're not cutting off the ring, and there's some things you're not doing because you're not in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Activity matters. So I mean that's kind of Bakram's fault, his management, his team, whatever you want to call it. They got to be in the ring more often. So they're looking like they're going to protest this fight. Protests usually never work.
Why are they protesting?
Because they protested the 10-10 round.
Man, they out of order.
Yeah. No, well, I think they got a good case because 10-10, when do you see 10-10 rounds? That's ridiculous.
But this is the problem. Anytime you protest it, so unfortunately, this is unfortunate for the sport of boxing, and we've said this for the judges. Hey, we done seen 9-9 rounds. We done seen 10-10. I mean, it's up to the judge technically. So if the judge is saying they can't score, they probably need to be admonished. And I don't know if you hey, Doug Brightside is willing to be a judge for any fight. I judge better than any of these guys. But I don't think you can't just sit here and take it away after the scoring that happened, because if we do that, then it's a ton of fights that we need to be taking away out here, respectfully. Yeah. So I just don't think you can do that. But at the end of the day, man, go ahead.
Yeah, they'll probably issue a rematch, and we'll see that. And it's unfortunate for, Xander and Boots, who are looking to try to, get that shot with Kelly, because I think Boots and Kelly were really in the works. That was supposed to be next, and Xander was looking for it.
Did they have the rematch? Did they have the rematch in the contract?
No, I don't think so. I think the IBF is going to probably just mandate that fight.
Okay.
Because of protest. I mean, let's see how things play out. But at the end of the day, Bakram, you got to be more active. You got to get in the ring a little bit more, and you can't be fighting once every year in 3 months. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, at the end of the day, TD, I'm gonna end this, and I know you about to shut down, but everybody done jumped off on us anyways. But man, stay active, fighters. Please stay active. If you're active, regardless, even if it's a tune-up, regardless, man, 2-3 fights a year is fantastic for you because you're active. And when you have that year and a half layoff, and I say this respectfully, TD, did you cover the Zuffa card?
No, I didn't get a chance to do that. I thought it was I mentioned it a little briefly, but I didn't get to cover it.
Well, the brother Hot Rod ended up fighting what's the other brother name? Oh my God, I can't call his name right now. Any other day I call it. But he was getting beat up. We was expecting him to lose. And he came out, he started running down the middle and got the stoppage. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember that fight? Respectfully, I don't know if you remember it.
You said Hot Rod?
That's what they called him, brother. If I say his last name, you're gonna think you might think I'm having a seizure when I'm trying to say that last name, because I can't say it. But it was Hot Rod versus who is he?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember that, but where the guy got dropped a couple times and he came back and he got the knockout.
Yeah. That hey, shout out to my sister, man. Shout out to Shawa. Vosnik. Vosnik is what they call him. Vosnik.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. I didn't get the names, but I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Vosnik was putting hands on the man.
That was a great fight. The card overall was excellent.
I love the card, respectfully. And then Hot Rod, that nigga started running that shit down the middle on his ass. And he went, and this was the great part about it. One of the things I always talk about, he went up and down with that backhand, right? Went with the stab jab, or it wasn't even a jab. He went the back to the backhand to the body. You know what I'm saying? Straight down the middle, jab, and then he feinted it down to the body and came upstairs with it, clipped Vosnik. And I thought Vosnik was gonna stop that man. I thought he was gonna stop him. And man, shout out to Hot Rod, man. That's what I love seeing that in fights. The reason I love seeing it because it show you that if you can dig deep and truly stand on yours, then you got a chance in any fight. We always talk about a puncher's chance. It got to a point I was like, man, this man got a puncher's chance.
Yeah. And
he started running them out, and that damn puncher's chance landed accordingly. And man, shout out to Hot Rod, man. That was fighting. I love that fight, man. That was I appreciate it.
He got dropped early in the round, like twice.
He got dropped 3 times.
He dropped Kovacic, whatever Kovacic. I'm probably saying his name wrong. He dropped him twice, and it ended up, stopping him.
Yeah.
That was a good fight. It's fun. It's crazy because I wanted to go back and watch it again because I was on the show while it was going on. So I'm doing I'm on the panel doing the show and watching the fight at the same time. I'm like, oh my God, these fights is good. Boacek and Buliev was good. The Jalil Hackett and that Puerto Rican kid.
Oh man, that was a fantastic fight. That was fantastic.
I mean, they were going at it. I mean,
I gotta give credit. What credit is due. Shout out to Bernard, because I thought Jalil got a little out of order. I thought he got out of order there.
Why you say that?
Well, because and when we kind of talked about, hey, Bernard is a friend, so we talked to him a little bit, and I thought, hey, Jalil kind of caught him early in the fight, and I thought he got a little reckless. My thing is the most brilliant thing I heard, and I say this respectfully, the most brilliant thing I heard from a corner this past weekend, and here we in the weekend now, but last weekend, let me say it that way. Man, Coach Bernard was like, bro, what's wrong with staying on the jab? What's wrong with it? Ain't nothing wrong with that. And when Jalil stood on that jab, he controlled the fight. But when he went in there to fight, right, that's when he was in trouble. That's when he got clipped. And I think that was the fifth round, somewhere in there. He got clipped because he went in there to fight.
Yeah.
But and then I'm listening to man, just stand on your damn jab, man. What's wrong with it?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of fighters got to understand that. Sometimes, man, you ain't gonna be able to knock everybody out.
No,
but if you got boxing skills, man, fight behind your jab. You could. I think if Jalil would have fought behind his jab that entire fight, he could have lined some shit up. The problem is he went in there slugging at certain times. Yeah. And I'm like, bro,
he was getting you
slugging with a slugger.
It wasn't just the 6th round, because it was like the 3rd or 4th round that Puerto Rican dude hit him with like an uppercut. I was like, oh,
yeah.
And he like buckled his knees. Like, I mean, listen, they went at it. I mean, I thought Jalil won the fight, rightfully so. It was a majority draw, but I thought he won the fight. But that was a very entertaining. The card was great. That was a great card.
TD, let me last question. I'm out of here after this. At what point in time, I understand excitement. We are, and me and you as boxing fans, we want the excitement. We want to see the knockouts. But I appreciate good boxing. At what point in time do these guys understand that, man, they ain't always got to knock somebody out? I can box. And we see individuals, and they're going to get criticized. Shakur, he went out there in a boxing masterclass. 12 rounds to none, in my personal opinion. Y'all want to give T.O. a round, that's fine. 11-1. That's a boxing masterclass, in my opinion. At some point in time, you got to understand, bro, I ain't got to knock everything out. I know you want to be exciting, but for you to be exciting, you know how you be exciting? Set your shit up accordingly.
Yeah.
Man, you hit that nigga with jab, right hand for 5 rounds. Man, I can start hooking off that damn jab. It's so many things I can do, but I gotta start with my jab. And I don't know. I just don't think a lot of these fighters understand it. But TD, man, go ahead. I appreciate
it. Right. I think a lot of fighters are now, they a lot of boxers are going in there with the mentality of fighting more than boxing. I think that's what it is, and it's like, my guy that I like a lot, I think Shu Shu has a mentality, because I was mentioning it a little while ago. Shu Shu came up as a boxer, kind of a boxer puncher, but he just likes to get in there and fight more. He's a real fighter, and that's what a lot of these guys you see now. They want to get in there and mix it up. Listen, Keyshawn, I think he's a real dog. He went in there and he fought a little bit too, but he was sharp. You know what I'm saying? I think you can go in and have the mentality to fight. But if you could do what Keyshawn did against Jermaine, come behind the jab and just be sharp with your punch placement. I mean,
we're gonna call you in order. We're gonna call you in order around here.
Yeah, that was a great performance by Keyshawn. I mean, you don't have to go in there and just go guns blazing. You could have some fundamental and skill behind that. You know what I'm saying? So, but listen, I got to get out of here. I appreciate you coming up, man. This has been great.
Love you, bro.
This is the longest live I've done in a while. But it was great conversation. Socrates just hit me up on the text and said, you didn't need me today. Everybody up there gave great point of views. So shout out to Tony Reviews for coming up. I appreciate him because he's very knowledgeable. My man K-Rod was up in here too. Salute to you. Teach, appreciate you. I'm sorry we didn't get to link up at the fight last week, but thanks for coming up. FaZe, first time coming up. You're welcome anytime. Thanks for coming through as well. My man Never Folds. That's my guy. We linked up at the fight last week as well. He's a good dude. A little bit of a hater, but he's definitely a good dude. So salute to him. My man D Free, of course. Salute to you, my co-host. And I think I got everybody. If I missed you, I apologize, but I appreciate
Well,
everybody.
You missed me.
Oh, I didn't.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. That's a joke, man. Hey, love you, TD, man. Appreciate you allowing me to rock with you. Keep doing your thing.
You was
man,
in order this week.
I'm trying my best to be in order, man. Y'all just don't know. I be working so hard to be in order. It's not in my nature, but I'm trying my best to be in order. It is what it is.
I appreciate you being in order this week. Like I said, it was a great weekend of boxing last week, and then it was great to have a good discussion about it. Everybody gave great point of views and great topics and great points. So this is my man Clarence. He go live every day. He always has
no duck in the building. Shout out to Duck.
But yeah, I definitely appreciate you guys. I got to get out of here.
Shout out to Champ Ross. We gotta say shout out to Champ Ross as well. We gotta say shout out
tomorrow. I'll be dropping at least one video I'm working on right now. I'll be dropping. It'll be about Shu Shu. Might be a second one, and we're probably gonna go live tomorrow night or sometime in the afternoon. It's gonna be a Super Bowl live. So you're welcome to come on as well, Dub. We're gonna talk about.
Wait a minute, y'all out of order. Listen.
Why?
Because y'all I'm gonna be honest, TD. You know I'm truthful. Man, y'all got DeMarcus Lawrence over there. He's showing up and showing up. Shout out to him. Shout out to Tank Lawrence. I'm a fan. He a former Cowboy. I'm a fan. That brother, I swear to God, TD, that brother said, man, I can't win a Super Bowl with the Cowboys. And now this man, he left one season and now he in the damn Super Bowl.
Crazy.
My God. I say, and I love that brother. I love him because he put so much into the Cowboys organization. So, man, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm rooting for y'all. I'm rooting for y'all simply because I want Tank to get Tank Lawrence or DeMarcus Lawrence. I don't know if y'all know him as Tank, but I want that man to get a Super Bowl. So I'm rooting for y'all. I can't wait for y'all to go out there and put hand because the Patriots ain't worth a damn, in my personal opinion. But good luck, man. I'm rooting for y'all. I'm rooting for y'all.
Well, we'll be live tomorrow. We'll talk about it. I'm sure the haters will be in as well as maybe some people actually rooted for the Seahawks. We'll break it down. Maybe we'll talk about some of the awards that were just given out yesterday. MVP, Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, et cetera, et cetera. We could talk that, talk about the season in general. And then, Sunday is the Super Bowl. So just look out for that. Definitely appreciate everybody that came through and hit the like button and came through in the chat showing love. We'll be back tomorrow. And, of course, we'll be back next Friday as well as next Thursday, keeping in the ring with my man, Rich Mancuso. You guys have a great, great night. I definitely appreciate everybody up in here. And we'll see you soon.
Peace.
Take care, guys.